Welcome back to the Bunt, the number one podcast in skateboarding, brought to you by the number one shoe in skateboarding.
Vans, baby.
Off the wall since 1960, motherfucking six. I'm D Jones. I got my main man, the Ghost, with me. As always, we got Jay Boogie Burrows and the Wonder Kid, Ants One, behind the scenes. Ghost, we are knee deep in NHL and NBA playoffs. The post office is absolutely packed. We got a once in a lifetime guest. Break this shit down for the people, man.
Man, huge episode, long overdue. Our boy Trent McClung finally pulled up to the pod. You know what I'm saying? We actually met him all the way back in 2016 when he famously fanned out on us. Just kidding. Nah, but Primitive was in town for a demo. We met him way back then. Probably bugged him many times over the years to come on the pod, but finally got it done. Awesome conversation with our boy. Then we taking y'all straight to the post office and the rundown, baby. It just keeps heating up. You know what I'm saying? Donald's feeling nice over here.
3 letters for those fucking Sens fans. BYE, baby. That's it. We're going to get to that later, though.
Huge episode.
Please, Bunt Gang, Bunt Army, Bunt Wipes, Bunt Holes. Follow us on Instagram at The Bunt Live. Subscribe to us on YouTube, youtube.com/@TheBuntLive. Yeah, that's right. patreon.com/The Bunt. But subscribe to us on YouTube. We got, I think, 3 videos going out every week now with members access to get them early. And all you got to do is become a member, man. It's fucking easy. Let's do this shit. Let's grow this shit together. We for the people, and you are the people, man. Ghost, a very important segment right now, because a lot of us are sports fans. We're watching sports day in and day out. But you got the boot on, so you're locked in. We need this for the community, for the culture. The Ghost shout out of the week, man. What did we miss?
It's that time, baby. Shout out of the week, brought to you by The Den, where the mission is to fight back against short attention spans and extend the life of skate videos. The Den invites you to stop mindlessly scrolling, take a deep breath, and set aside some time to actually watch a skate video. Just because you already saw the ender 10 times on Instagram doesn't mean the video isn't worth your time. Hit the Den app for a curated selection of videos worth watching front to back, from certified classics to regional hits and the newest releases. The Den, where the best skate videos live in full glory, available for free on iPhone, Android, the web, Apple TV, and Amazon Fire TV. D Jones, this week, a lot of dope shit was popping, but I gotta give this week's shout out of the week to Jeremy Murray, not to be confused with Jamal Murray of the Denver Nuggets, but they're both masters of their craft. You know what I'm saying? Doing it big. You know I love a ledge skater, and Jeremy's just popping left, right, and center off on ledges, manis all over New York. Trick selection, God. You know what I'm saying? A lot of shoves in, shoves out. Just what I like. Fakey shove, switch nose manny, fakey hard. He's doing a lot of dream tricks of mine, man. But shout out Jeremy Murray. Go check it out. Shit is an instant classic. You dig?
Salute. DC legend right there. And I know exactly who that is, unlike last week with our little mishap. All right, Ghost, only one thing left to do before we get this interview popping, man. We got to lock down some ice cold beers. And where do we get them? There's no place better than Girard and Broadview, Far Side, your local pub, as good as it gets. Be there, Girard Street East. They're serving them up cold, and the atmosphere is great as long as Joel ain't there. All right, let's get this interview popping.
Sorry, I forgot I had one more shout out. Shout out.
We're working OT here.
Our girl Nicole, in the off season, she started a podcast, so go check it out. I love it. I think she's got 3 episodes out. Nicole Haas, no big deal. Everywhere you get your podcasts. You dig?
We fucking dig. Let's get this interview popping, man. Trent's in the building. fucking do it after some minor technical difficulties. The time has come. We've got Trent McClung in the motherfucking building. What's cracking, man?
Not much, man. We made it happen. We finally doing this.
Dude, here we are, man. So, Trent, we start every show off the same. Hit us with your favorite skate moment and your favorite sports moment.
My skate moment, a lot of people probably say it, but probably going pro. And my favorite sports moment, I don't really watch sports, but probably Mac McClung winning the slam dunk contest, holding down the last name.
No relation.
No relation.
Which one? He just won 3 in a row. I wasn't a fan of any of them.
They gotta ban him, man.
Hey, I just know that he won 3 in a row, and the last one, I don't even know what the other ones were, but he slam dunked over the car was the last one, right?
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. He's probably done that multiple times, but I get it. Standing up for the last name, having some pride, but fuck, he's not even an NBA player, man.
Hey, I had to have some sort of sports moment.
Shit is a disgrace, the dunk contest, man.
Yeah. So the crazy stat that came out after that is that he's played in 5 NBA games and he's won 3 dunk contests. That's how desperate they are for like just any sort of talent, because the All-Star Weekend's a joke. But you're not worried about all that. That's a great moment.
I'll leave it at that.
But a little more on the going pro. Was there a surprise? Anything like big go into it? How'd you find out?
To be honest, they just told me. There was no surprise to it. They let you. Well, at the time, they kind of it was me and Diego, and they were like, "Yo, like we're gonna turn you guys pro. Diego first, and then you can work on a part." And basically kind of like help line up your animal, I guess, right? I got the wasp.
Sick.
And that's pretty much it. You know what I mean? You're like, oh, all right, like sick. Kind of like thinking, you're like I want like a surprise, but at the same time, you're like, cool. Now I know that I can like try my best for this video part. Not that you're not gonna try your best or like your hardest, but you know what I mean? There's a little bit of motivation there.
Yeah.
That part was fucking fire too. Are wasps cheap? Just curious.
Are they
Cheap?
what? Cheap?
I have no
What's that
idea.
mean?
Never mind.
I know where you're going with this one.
No. Yeah. You know what I just remembered though, Donald?
The fuck?
Remember when they did the demo here in fucking 2016?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure, I don't know if you remember this, Trent. We came to the hotel to interview Spanish and Paul, and Trent was like, yo, what's up? Like, I love, like, I don't know if he said I love your pod, but he listened. We'd done like 1 or 2 episodes at the time, and he'd listened to it. And I remember you were like, yo, I listened to that. That was sick. That just fucking came to me right now.
We'll go with I love that. That sounds about right. Yeah.
I'm down for that. Do you remember? Do you remember who it was? Who was on the pod at the time?
The first 4 interviews we did was Wade, Bobby DeKaiser, Morgan, and Grant Patterson.
So it probably makes sense that it was. I probably listened to Wade's.
Yeah. True.
Dude,
he wasn't on back
beginning.
then, though. Was he?
He was episode 1.
He was.
But was he on Primitive?
No, Morgan
he
was
wasn't
episode 1. No, he wasn't on. It was episode 2 or something. But yeah, fucking full circle moment here, man.
Here we are.
How many years ago was that?
Dude, that was 2016, I'm pretty sure.
2016. Okay, that makes sense.
Because we started in May and you guys came through that summer.
And then because Paul or Spanish and then Paul were still like relatively in the beginning, right? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, we didn't know those guys were going to become the 1-2 punch of comedy. The skate world.
God.
Yeah, we need that reality show from those fools, man.
Yeah,
find it on his YouTube.
Yeah. So Trent, take us back to the beginning, man. Where'd you grow up and how'd you get into skating?
I grew up in Huntington Beach, California. And I have 2 older brothers, Taylor and Trevor. I'm the youngest of the 3. And I pretty much just did whatever they want, or like whatever they did, I wanted to do. You know what I mean? Like younger brother following them, and pretty much we did biking, rollerblading, rode scooters, kind of did everything. But my dad and his brothers were like surf skate oriented growing up, you know what I mean? And so there was always some kind of skate in the mix, I guess. But I started skating because of my brothers.
That's
Nice.
proper. Little brothers always follow the big ones. Was it competitive when you guys were growing up skating together?
Um, Not that I remember it being so competitive, but I was kind of like always trying to catch up. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? And I was always getting like, I'd want to hang out with them, and they wouldn't want to hang out with me because they're like, dude, my little brother, like, I don't want to hang out with them. I want to hang out with my homies, you know? And
Hmm.
uh, I would definitely get punked, or like I'd get picked on and bullied from them. You know what I mean? Just a
God
little
damn.
bro.
Yeah. What was
Hmm.
your "I'm here" moment as a little bro in the skate game, showing the big dogs what's up?
My I'm here moment. Good question. I don't know. Maybe when I just started kind of like finding my own crew, you know what I
Hmm.
mean? My own crew, and just started like making our own videos and just like filming each other.
For sure.
Instead
I
of
guess
I'm
that,
here, you're like I'm over there now.
Yeah,
yeah,
I'm
I
out of
guess
here. Is
I
what
don't
it
like,
is.
yeah, I don't need to rely on you guys, you know what I mean? I can do my own thing. But
Nice,
can
nice.
you drop me off at the spot?
I'd say you're the best ledge skater of the three. Not that doing best with your own brothers is probably not the funnest thing, but who do you think is the best at what? Like I'm sure you've all got your own thing. Although Taylor and Trevor are both insane at jumping. I don't know who I would say is better there.
That's a hard one. Trevor's definitely better at rails,
Hmm.
and
The gnarliest rail skater for sure.
yeah, he'll skate big rails. They'll both jump big, and then Trevor can kind of skate everything. Taylor's can skate a little bit of ledges, but mostly jumping, and then I keep it low impact.
You've done hella rail tricks, but you like to keep them from like 5 to 7 stairs.
Yeah, they're small little tech rails.
That's
Ex-
dope.
You did hit that hella kinked rail. You like wall rails too, safety.
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah,
see you. I see
yeah.
you.
I did. I did feeble back in the day as a kid. I feebled 11 rail. That's the biggest I've
Damn,
ever.
Let's
That's
go.
the
that's fire.
that's my.
Hash
So,
Trent.
what was your first big break in the skate industry?
Um, First big break. Probably. That's a good question. Probably skating for LRG, I would say. I think it's LRG because I don't remember the timeline, if I was on Element and LRG, or like I don't know which one happened first, but
Hmm.
um definitely LRG like took me under their wing at the time, you know what I mean? Like took me to China and did all this, and like had a video part. Even before I was on, I was like in the mix with those dudes, like skating, filming, going on small van trips and stuff like that. But that was probably like my first big break where it's like, oh, all right, like I'm traveling a little bit, you know what I mean? Like there is talks of like putting me and Carlos on eventually, just kind of like getting in the mix. But probably that, because I was on Element at some point, but I was just on Element, you know, like I
Hmm.
wasn't like super in the mix with Element. I wasn't like going on too many trips with them, and so it didn't really feel like I was like super in there. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Hmm.
I was just skating their boards.
So speaking of LRG, man, your I've arrived moment with your brothers was when you found your own crew. But I'd say to the skating world, like in general, your LRG 1947 part. I mean, you'd had parts and shit, but I felt like that was like the yo, check out this kid Trent. He's fucking next level on a board. Tell us about putting that part together and how hyped you were to get it out there.
Dude, I think that part, I wasn't like super strategic with that part. You know, I was going on LRG trips at the time. Me and Carlos were the young dudes on the team. Um, and we were going on trips with like Kelly Hart, Carl Watson. Rodrigo Pearson, Rob G was in the mix at the time.
Damn.
Like all these like older dudes. I mean, I think Billy was there. Billy was around. But it was a lot of older people we were in the mix with. But I was, dude, I remember being shy. I was super shy, like around those dudes, and like didn't like say much, you know. But I just skated, was just filming, you know what I mean? So there was no like strategy to it, and just trying to push myself and keep up with everybody else, pretty much. I guess that's like how it's always been.
Yeah, you came out swinging, man. Back threes, down triples. You front blunted that one. Like, that's actually one of your Hesher clips.
I almost front blunt big spin at the same night, and we had like this like wood scoreboard for the field, because it was like it was on a track field, you know, and we lit up the spot. Grass was sopping wet from the sprinklers and everything like that, but we put two big scoreboards on the run up, because it's the track field running up on the run up. And eventually, I was skating at the time I was skating a Plan B black ice. So it was a slick bottom. Got it from Trevor, whatever. Front blunted it twice, because I think Kyle Camarillo shot the photo, and he was like, dude, the flash didn't go off. You know what I mean? Like, you got to do it again. Did it again, tripping. I'm like so scared, you know? And I kind of got like, I was like, all right, I think I can front blunt big spin it. Like, let's keep going. A couple tries later, caught like my back truck didn't make it on, so I caught front board. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then like just slipped out and like caught the rail. Luckily, I didn't like sack it super bad. But after that, I was like, I'm good. I'm gonna leave with the front blunt.
Yeah, that was the end of your big rail career, eh?
That was it. I was like, yo, no more sacking it. Knock on wood.
So you're on Element and all as well, but what made you make the switch or want to make the switch to Primitive?
So I skated for Element for I don't even know how many years, a long time. And obviously, like I was saying in the beginning, it was like pretty slow. Like I was like on, but I wasn't super in the mix. And they were all cool. Took great care of me at the time, hooked me up, whatever. And then contract was up. This was before the LRG video came out. And I told them, I was like, hey, I'm working on this part. They're like, oh, good. Like focus on you, do your thing. There's not much for you to do over here, so just handle that. I'm like, all right, cool. Everything's all good. And my contract is up. And I'm like, oh, cool. Like, I'm working on this part. I have stuff lined up. Like, maybe I can get a little bit of a raise. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
They're like, and Cole Matthews was the team manager at the time. And he hits me up. He's like, yo, like, can you come into the office tomorrow? I'm like, yeah, cool. And they go have a meeting, and, you go talk contract stuff. Like little kid, you get a little nervous, you know? And it's face to face, and I sit down at this table, and it's two other people on the other side, and then I'm on my side solo, you know?
Oh, shit.
And I'm all like nervous, you know? And they were just pretty much like, hey, you know, we're not going to re-sign your contract. I'm like, okay. You know, I didn't really say much, and they just kind of like spoke about it. You know, they were just like, we could see you fitting somewhere else. And in the meantime, while that's happening, it's like a serious talk. Appleyard comes up, and he was just like, sits down at the table, doesn't even like read the scenario whatsoever. And he's just like, what's up, y'all? Y'all want some chips? He had like some chips. He had like some chips and salsa, you know? And I think Cole was like, yo, Bart, not right now. Like, you got to go, you know?
God damn.
I don't even know if he would remember that or what, but I remember that. I'm like, all right, cool. And then that was it. You know, I'm like, hey, thanks for everything. They're like, you can have as many boards as you want, whatever. And that was it, you know? Like,
Damn.
I still see those dudes around, and Trevor was skating for Plan B at the time, and it was out of the same distribution, so I would still see those dudes around. It was a little weird at first, you know, but and at the time I was pretty young, and like I didn't I was bummed. I was super bummed, but I had no plan. But I guess I wasn't really like tripping like, okay, this is the end, you know?
Hmm.
Um, and I just skated whatever boards for a bit. I got uh, James Craig sent me some Enjoy boards for a little bit. Graphic was crazy graphic. It was like, I think it was a dipped blue board with bunnies and rainbows all over.
Oh, should have hit that element box on the way out, man.
I know I should have took some more boards, but no, the boards were good, whatever. And actually, Carlos was pushing for me to get on primitive. You know what I mean? And that was a big help. I skated some primitive boards from him before I got on. I knew Heath from already because he was Etnies and DC team manager at the time from Taylor and Trevor, and knew him, knew Paul already, knew most of the dudes over there. But Carlos was pushing for me, and LRG video came out, so it was like kind of perfect timing. And so
Yeah.
that was kind of like the oh, he just came out with this part, like here's his tape, I guess, you know.
Hmm.
That's
Yeah.
basically I think that's what basically got me on primitive, you know. Obviously Carlos pushing for it, and Oliver Barton was helping that too.
Sick. Yeah. Paul
And
probably saw the 1 foot back three and he was like, sign this, man. You know what I'm saying?
that's the
You
one that
had
got
to
me on
find
right
some
there.
time for that,
You were waiting for that, huh?
eh? Yeah, it had that in
No,
his notes. So.
that part was heavy duty though. So I feel like I'm happy it was primitive because like you've been on since way back now and is
Yeah.
obviously a great fit. But I
Mhm.
feel like once that part came out, you probably would have had a few people coming to check on your status. Serious part.
Yeah, so I got lucky. It was kind of like perfect timing, and yeah, here we are, still there.
Hell yeah.
Fucking right.
Uh, so yeah, early days I saw clips of you and Lakai's, I think maybe some Etnies and shit, but you ended up riding for Adidas for quite a while, rewatching all your parts, a lot of Adidas in there. But I feel like that never panned out quite the way you wanted it to. So what's the story with you and Adidas?
Um, yeah, I got shoes for 6 or 7 years, probably for a long time. Um, we tried, you know, I did the best I could, and they were helping me out with flights for a lot of that. You know what I mean? There was travel budget involved and stuff like that, but ultimately, I just don't think that it was going to go any farther than that. And I think I was just getting over it. You know, like a lot of people were kind of like, "Hey, like stay, you know, you get travel budget, like what else are you gonna get? Like where are you gonna get like what are you gonna get elsewhere? You know what I mean? Like the shoe game is hard. I think that's the hardest thing, especially nowadays where it's
Hmm.
five big brands, you know what I mean? So but they hooked it up for a while and just travel budget and all that. And so that's like why I stayed for so long because I was able to like go on trips and travel and do some stuff like that, and even go to contests and stuff like that. They were like super supportive in that on that end. But yeah, it was time to call it quits.
Hmm.
Damn. Yeah, you look good in the three stripes, but yeah. Got
You know,
to do what's best
I'm
for you at the end of the day. Can't
Hmm.
stay in purgatory forever.
yeah. I mean, yeah.
So you part ways with Adidas, looking for a better landing spot. How did New Balance come about, and is that sponsorship where you want it to be?
um, I skated some other shoes after Adidas for a little bit, and Tyrone he works over at New Balance, and he was the team manager of LRG at the time, and he's the one that hooked me up back then, you know. And to be honest, I think he just gave me some shoes to skate. You know, he was like, "Yo, like, what size are you? I'll give you some shoes to skate." And sent me some shoes. I skated, and then I didn't really like. I was like, "Dude, I'm not trying to really buy shoes," you know. Hit him up for more, and he was like, "Yeah, I'll send you some shoes, whatever," and just started getting shoes that way. And pretty much that's kind of where it started with that. And then um, I don't know, not on fully on. I don't really know where to go with this. I guess. I mean, you always wish it could be more, but they hook it up for right now. You know, I'm not on, but they help me out a lot. You know what I mean? Especially for what the situation is, and how everything is with the shoe companies and the industry.
Hmm.
I don't know. It's kind of like a weird one for me to answer, I guess. Obviously you
Yeah.
want more. Obviously you want like more, you know what I mean? But I guess I kind of ended up in a similar situation.
Yeah. Fuck.
Purgatory.
New Balance, you know what to do, man. You know what to do. Get our man Trent on there fully. The amount of parts and your productivity and skill level is through the roof. But
But you said it, man. 5 main brands running the whole game. It's not a lot of free spots, you know.
Not a lot of free spots, and um, they have a good amount of perimeter riders over there already. And I know
Mhm.
that's kind of like been some talk is like they don't want to have too many perimeter riders.
Yeah.
But what am I gonna do?
hey, come on over to Vans, man.
Hey.
You might need a skate agent, man. So you don't show up in one of those 2-on-1 meetings without a homie by your side. You know
I
what
know
I'm saying? Instead
two
of
versus one
fucking
is
Mark Appleyard with some chips and salsa, you got an agent. Might
That's
have
the
went a
most
different way.
Appleyard thing I've
Yeah.
ever heard.
dude. 2 versus 1 was harsh, but
Yeah,
it
you
is what it
get
is.
cooked in that scenario, man.
There was no defending myself. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's all good. Um, yeah, shoe wise, I don't know. I don't know. Maybe it's easier to tell me from the outside. You know what I mean? I have no
I don't know.
idea.
Rewatching all your parts and how much fucking footage you have in like big videos, it's crazy to me. Like it just
Yeah,
doesn't add up to me. You have more
yeah.
parts than I fucking remembered, and I was like, God damn! Like you put a lot of good content out there for Adidas over the years and New Balance now. So
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Maybe it's just, yeah, like all I do is skate. You know what I mean? All I know is skate. And like, I put all my time and effort into skating because I love it. But maybe that's just like, I
You
mean,
take it for granted.
yeah, I don't know. I mean, I've heard a lot of things, not even just about me, but like I heard that like brands like, when you have something outside of skating that you do, you know what I mean? Like play the guitar or like or I don't even know. I don't know.
yeah,
Yeah. Now I
You
know
know,
what you mean, bro. You could do what Bobby Pulio does, man.
what's he do?
Collect the street art. You know what I'm saying?
there's garbage. This guy said street art, yo.
It ain't garbage, man. Don't diss
Wow.
him like that. It's
I don't even
street
know what
art.
you're talking about.
You got to look into what Bobby's up to these days.
Okay.
Oh man.
Man, the skate game has changed, man. Maybe you were born fucking too late. Fucking throw you in, like, if you came up in 1995 or like even 2000,
Yeah.
you'd be the fucking top dude in the game.
I feel like there was more money back then too. There was more like shoe brands with money, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, less
Everybody
skaters.
was, yeah, that's true. Like less skaters, less like social media and like I don't know, different time back then for sure.
Mm-hmm.
I was watching some like of the old Europe contest videos, and like Europe 2000 is the one that I used to watch all the time back in the day. So I just rewatched it, and it's just crazy to see that obviously not everyone's there, but so many people are there, and it feels like the entire skate world is like at one contest somehow. Whereas now, like, it's a billion pros out there and shit. You can never replicate
Well,
that.
yeah. Well, I feel like back then it was like, I mean, maybe that's what I grew up grew up seeing, but like it was only big names out there that everybody knew. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Now it's like not hating, but there's so many people that I don't even know who they are,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and everybody's good.
Back then, it was like even the fringe guys, everyone kind of knew who they were.
What do you mean fringe?
Like a less like
not elite.
a small time
Okay.
pro, but like there's just so many less pros that like you even knew who the like less popular guys were. Or now
True.
there's like a billion, like you can only keep so many skaters in your head now. If you watch Tampa Pro, there's a bunch of guys you won't know, but back in the day, it's like you know almost every single person in a contest.
Yeah. Okay. At least you at least heard of them.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
exactly. Well, skate industry out there, Trent, you know what I'm saying? One of the best to step on a board.
Who was a fringe pro from Europe 2000, man?
Oh, I almost said something so disrespectful because he was not fringe at the time, but he's probably just forgotten now. I'm just going to say this name to shout him out, not saying he's fringe because he was a beast. Fringe. But no, he's not. He's not. Carlos DeAndretti. He's just
that's
all
who
over.
I thought of.
He's all up in those videos.
Yeah.
But he was big time. He was on Etnies and World
Trey
Industries.
flipped the fakie on the QP.
Yeah, I was going to say he was big time for sure. He's still around
in the
skating.
contest game. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of a more fringe.
I mean, yeah, growing up for me, that was like, World Industries. So you're like, oh, that's a big time pro. Mm-hmm. But then kind of like, yeah, I guess if you take a step back or like when you grow up a little bit, you're like, oh, yeah. I mean, I guess maybe not everybody knew of him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
How about Stefan Laurent, the tall French homie? Legend. He was in some of those videos, and he was fringe because he's like big in Europe. But like, I only first started seeing him in the Lords video.
Dude, you know what? I heard that name before, but only because I think he was a judge as of recently for like a contest.
Well, that's dope. Still in the game.
It's a triple OG legend right there.
Yeah.
That was before my time.
That's funny. So you've put out countless parts now, have a handful of NBDs. What keeps you motivated to keep producing these, man? Like, do you ever feel burnt out skating? You just kind of over it a bit, or like, how do you keep the fire, man?
Yeah, you definitely get a little burnt out for sure. You know what I mean? But, I don't know. I like skating. You know what I mean? I think that's because I have ADHD. For sure. Like I can't sit still. Like I can't sit in my house for too long. I was hurt and I was going nuts. You know what I mean? But whether it's filming or whatever, I'm gonna be skating. You know what I mean? I'm watching skate videos, like looking for spots, whatever. But I guess the motivation or just to keep going, I don't know. I love it. You know what I mean? I like to push myself, like to try to make it better than the next, even if it's maybe not from the outside, but on the inside, it feels like it's better from the next part or the last part. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. I think I just like skating too much. And I don't have like I don't have a hobby outside of skating really either.
What would be the closest thing you have to a hobby outside of skating, man? Are you a gamer or something?
For a while I was playing a lot of COD. Honestly, I'd be like something in the food industry or coffee industry. Like I love food and coffee, you know what I mean? Like if I didn't skate, like I'd be so fat.
Not where I thought you were going.
Yeah. Straight up.
Keep it up. Yeah, don't stop.
I mean, yeah, like obviously that's like eventually, you know what I mean? You like to eat good and I like coffee, you know, it'd be cool to open a coffee shop eventually.
There you go, man.
No golf yet in your life?
Nah, there's a couple homies and Trevor was going for a little bit with his homies golfing, but haven't got into that. I don't know. It doesn't seem like I wouldn't be good. I've been in the driving range and like I've been one time and I'm like, oh, this is cool. You know, you just try to hit the ball as hard as you can and as far as you can. But like, I don't know. Not into golfing yet.
What about pickleball, man? We about to pick that up.
Yeah, my mom plays all the time.
Bro, see what I'm saying? That's what I need.
My mom gets down on pickleball. I see it all the time. They have it at this park that I go to in Huntington, and they like just changed it recently. But the whole like right behind the park, the skate park is all pickleball courts now. It's popping off.
That's fire. I'm down.
Now, Trent, you are a skate rat. If I've ever met one, I remember. I can't remember who called who or what for, but it was like a rainy day there. He's like, yeah, it's just raining over here. I'm just like driving around looking for spots. I'm like, holy shit, bro.
Oh yeah. That's what I'm saying. I can't sit in the house. Raining, whatever, you know what I mean? Like I get bored in the house and it's gotta be somewhat skate related, I think.
You know what? Speaking of spots and being a skate nerd and finding spots and all that, what's up with I mean, Carlos is supposed to be one of your best friends, right? You're just saying he helped you get on Primitive and shit. You guys
I know where we're going with this.
Traveled the world together. You know what I'm saying? All that. He said it's actually been hard to skate with you lately because you're spot blocking, man. What's up with that?
I knew he was going to say something like that, dude. I knew it. He always says that. He said it in some other thing too, and I didn't get a chance to defend myself because I didn't know that he said it, you know what I mean? But nah, it's not spot blocking, you know what I mean? That's the homie. He just not out and about with us. He's got a family. He's got 3 kids, you know what I mean? And if he wants a spot, I got him, but he don't ever ask. He's just like, yo, I know you're hiding spots. I'm like, he's like, give me spots. And I'm like, well, what kind of spot do you want? I'm not going to, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. He's funny. But yeah,
okay.
I got him.
So he's capping.
That might be one guy to keep the spots away from, though. Well, keep them safe from him, bro. I wouldn't have no problem blocking him. Yeah, no.
But I give him spots for sure. He's not like, he's just like, yo, give me all the spots. I'm like, what?
That's all at once.
You know what I mean?
Show me everything you got.
But I definitely don't like that, like new spots pop up on Instagram. You know, you post a new spot on Instagram, especially in LA, like
it's over.
It's a wrap. You know what I mean? And then it becomes a hot spot, whatever. And then it's on Instagram, tricks get done, and then the spot's just done, and you're like, all right, cool. Like, I don't even want to like use that clip anymore. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You're like, yo, I'm thinking about kickflip crooking this thing, and then Carlos is like, yo, let me get that switch flip crook right quick. No wonder you're blocking spots.
But you're the squad that they want to keep the spots from, man. People are like, don't let the Primitive squad over here.
For sure.
I've heard that. I've heard that a couple times.
Keep that gang out of here.
I've heard that a couple times.
No, wax our shit the fuck up, yo.
Hey, I keep most of it off IG. You know what I mean?
I'm gonna come skate with you next time I'm down there. Get the secret spots.
Let's go to that hubba.
Yeah. Revive that one. Actually, no. If we do that, we can't tell anyone. The thing's already blown out.
I tried to do that. It didn't work. Straight up, I tried. It didn't work.
Okay.
Ledge skater extraordinaire. But who are your top 3 ledge skaters of all time? Obviously, a loaded, tough question. As soon as you answer, you're going to think of 10 more. But off top, man.
Put me on the spot with this one. I wasn't expecting this question. Obviously PJ Ladd, you know what I mean? Who does, I'm drawing a blank right now, dude. I mean, trying to think of some good ones.
I mean, not to throw you under the bus again, but Carlos says you're spot blocking. Your other homie, JP, says you're stealing his tricks. So maybe if you just think about whose tricks you've stolen the most over the years. Those are the
two things those dudes say every single time. But JP only says that because of the big spin front nose, but it's all good. You skate with your homies, you get inspired with your homies, you know what I mean?
Sure.
Oh, I don't even know why I was drawing a blank. Carlos for sure. You know what I mean? That's 2. Why am dude, I'm drawing a blank on this right now.
JP's in his car listening to this right now, screaming. Yeah,
he's like waiting for his name. Waiting for his name.
Thinking about some sort of Instagram clip to get back at you right now.
But you're like, you know what? He can't do shit on his back foot, so he can't even be in this conversation.
He's front truck only.
Yeah.
Tom Asta, probably.
That's a good one. Yeah.
He's got all the tricks too. Yeah, that's cool. I'll work with that. Tom Asta, PJ Ladd, Carlos.
Carlos, I wasn't expecting, but he is one of those dudes who could basically just do any trick.
I think so. I mean, he switched foot back nose blunts on ledges, like switch heel back Smith. Like, I don't know.
He's done both those on handrails too.
Yeah, I guess he's moved past the ledges, huh?
I like that big 3. So you and your brothers started a brand. Tell us a little bit about that and what you guys are cooking up.
Well, we didn't start a brand yet.
Sorry.
It's just a video. We're working on a video with us three. It's called Brookhurst, and the name came from basically it's a street that we grew up on. You know, that's kind of where it all started. But we're doing a video for now, and for a long time we were burnt on doing stuff together. You know what I mean? We did so much stuff with the barracks back in the day, coming up and all that, which I think helped us out in the beginning. You know, but it just became repetitive of doing the same thing, like, oh, brother's this, brother's that. You know what I mean? That we got kind of burnt out on it, and pretty much we were just like, all right, like let's kind of do our own thing. You know what I mean? And not so much brother stuff, but I guess just this last year, 2024, was pretty slow, and in COVID, I was bored, super bored, whatever, and I was just at the house just doing random stuff, and I made this Brookhurst crew neck with literally iron on, like it was like an iron on logo, cut it out, whatever, iron it on, put it on a crew neck, whatever. And some people would ask about it here and there, like, yo, what is that? You know, it was like, oh, it's just the street that I grew up on. You know, I was bored. I made it during COVID. And yeah, 2024, it was a slow year, not really working on any projects. Primitive was doing an video, and they kind of like encouraged us to like do our own thing outside of Primitive. And they were available as well. So we're just like, yo, let's do a video for like do our own video for us. You know what I mean? And like do it like homie style. We ended up getting a couple cameras, and we're filming each other and trying to do the video. Taylor
Hell
has Taylor has footage from like, dude, Taylor has so much footage. He probably has like 3 or 4 parts worth of footage, you know what I mean, that he's been sitting on. And he probably doesn't want to use all that, you know what I mean, because it's a bit old, but like he looks the same the whole time, you know what I mean, and he's ripping. But it's gonna probably, I think it's gonna go by age too, so it'll be like me, Trevor, and then Taylor will end the video.
Sick.
Nice.
And yeah, I guess that's what keeps it exciting, you know what I mean? It's like we're kids again, just trying to like film each other. Obviously filmers help out and stuff like that, but we're doing it our way, on our own time, just kind of having fun, and you know, trying to put out this video and see if people like it.
Sick, man.
What's up?
You still got the OG crew neck?
I still got the OG crew neck, holding it down.
Nice.
Still got that.
What are you wearing right now?
Brookhurst crew neck.
There you go, man. I was waiting.
Nah, it was just, yeah, that's the thing is we just make like random stuff here and there just for us. You know, we don't sell anything like that, or like if the homies want something, kind of just make it for them. But it's just a fun little passion project right now. Eventually, I think we want to turn it into something. Not really sure, but for now, we're just doing the video.
Nice.
Hell yeah. Can't wait to peep that, man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, hopefully this year. That's the goal.
Love to see that. You guys are editing it too, or you got someone else coming in to help with that?
I think we're gonna edit it.
Nice.
Trevor and Taylor kind of like they're dabbling with their parts right now. You know what I mean? In the beginning, we were talking about like, yo, like just film, get all this footage, and then just like give it to somebody else to edit. You know what I mean? But like, it's kind of a big ask for somebody else to edit. You know what I mean? Especially if they have like other stuff going on. And then also we kind of want to do it our way. You know what I mean? And not saying that the other person, whoever would edit it, would do that, but kind of just like, I guess would mean a lot more if we did it ourselves, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So,
Start to finish a brother's project, man.
yeah,
dope.
exactly. You know, and that's the thing is like the whole time we've been skating, we never did anything like for us, you know, it was always for someone else.
Mm-hmm.
So we wanted to check that one off.
That's great.
And you can premiere it on the barracks for old time's sake. Yeah, what are you laughing at? What's funny, bro?
Hey.
Bro,
Hey.
control, man. Come get this guy.
Yo, hey, they hooked us up. You know, we did enough barrack stuff for them where this is ours. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, hell yeah.
All you ever wanted in life was to land a switch tray. But there was one problem. Burgers. You loved them. Ate them before skating, after skating, sometimes even during skating. Legs wobbly, mind foggy, burger belly. No switch trays no matter how many days you tried. One afternoon, defeated and greasy, you sat at the skate park grumbling. You smelled something new. Pizza. You wandered over, grabbed a slice, took a bite, and something changed. The cheese hit different. Your third eye opened. Legs lightened and tightened. The board called your name. Push, pop, bolts. And at that very exact moment, Brandon Turner just happened to be skating by and saw the whole thing. Damn, son. That switch tray was as fresh as Megan Fox and Transformers and Brad Pitt and Fight Club combined. And then you, still shocked, just nodded and said, "Thanks, General." Brandon laughed. "All right then, General." The General just called you the General. Pizza changed everything. You know who gave you that pizza? You know who did. CHPO, the worldwide leader in sunglasses and watches. Always doing it for the people. So you and Carlos been teammates and great friends for a long time. Can you tell us about the story of one of your first times rooming together in China back in the day on an LRG trip?
Oh my God, yes. Yeah, we were in Guangzhou and there was this cafe downstairs at this hotel. Yo, these beds were like rock hard. They were like a manual pad. They were like perfectly. That was like what we would
that.
like.
Yeah.
That's
good.
Yo, the skate rain on this guy.
No. That's what we would like refer it to. You know what I mean? Like it was like, dude, it was like this high off the ground. You know what I mean? And like,
It's the perfect man.
I don't know, perfect mani pad. It was rock hard, but whatever. Pause. But whatever. And they would every day we go skate, and Carlos on every single trip was my roommate, you know, because we got on at the same time. That's my dog. And go down to this cafe at night, and there was like, it was this cafe that like all the Girl and Chocolate dudes used to go to. So there was like, Beeble had like a item on the menu, you know, and like nobody was speaking English, you know what I mean? And there was just like pictures on the menu, whatever. For whatever reason, Carlos, they were drinking all night, and Carlos decides to order ham and cheese spaghetti in China. You know, and like ham and cheese spaghetti, like off top already is like kind of random.
Yeah.
And eats the spaghetti, whatever. And yeah, they're just drinking, whatever. And then we go back to the room. Dude, I want to say this all happened in the same night. Sweaty, like clothes everywhere, right? Like from the day. Put the clothes, like pants on the floor to dry out, whatever. We're sleeping. This dude wakes up like middle of the night and just starts throwing up all over the room. All over the room, dude. And for like threw up on my pants on the way to the bathroom, this and that, like made a mess, dude. It was disgusting. Disgusting. And I stayed in the room that night, you know. I held it down for him, and it was nasty, but that was my experience. And I want to say, I don't know if it was later that night or a different night, but the bathroom closed. It had to be the same night because it was destroyed the room. Closed the bathroom door, and this dude gets up to go pee in the like later that night. The door's locked for whatever reason. The bathroom door's locked from the outside. Nobody's inside, and he's like tripping, and he's like, "Yo, you locked the bathroom, fool!" Like what? I'm like, dude, how am I gonna lock the bathroom? You know what I mean? I don't really know what happened. And this dude goes and pees in the corner of the room.
Oh my God.
To top it all off, he pees in the corner of the room. It was a mess, dude. But
Carlos.
that was it, dude. That was the experience rooming with this dude in China.
That's brotherhood. That's
great.
Could be worst teammate right there. God damn.
I feel bad for the cleaning lady that had to go clean the room the next day.
Yeah, what you do with your pants, bro?
I don't remember what I did.
Bro.
Dude, I either got rid of them or I think we were doing laundry, you know.
Mm.
I don't remember what I did with them, but yeah, I think I kept them. I think
Got
I
some
kept them.
clips. Got
Yeah.
some clips in those
They're
bad
actually,
boys.
I remember they were these gray LRG pants. Yeah, there probably is some clips in the video with those pants. It was either before or after he threw up on them.
Damn. So I didn't realize this. I mean, we all hung out in Detroit, but it never hit me. But you don't curse.
Hmm.
Okay, so Donald, did you know that?
No.
No,
You know how hard that is?
Yeah, we didn't pick up on that, but I've heard you've snapped on at least one occasion. And what pushed you over the edge at the barracks that time with Carlos?
He actually brings that up a lot. Dude, to be honest, I don't recall. He thinks I said the F word, right?
Yeah.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't recall. I mean, I must have like slipped up, like frustrated trying to trick or something, you know what I mean? But like I don't remember that situation. And he like I don't know where like I don't know. I don't really remember that one. I mean, I know he talks about it, but I'm like, is this like did I? You know
He
what I
just
mean?
loves it. He just made it up, bro.
So what
You've been
made you not
talking
want to
about it
curse
so
though
long.
from the start?
To be honest, I guess just kind of growing up, like there was no cursing in the house. You know what I mean? Like as kids and stuff like that. And it has nothing to do with like, dude, my parents were chill, super chill, like best parents ever. Like never like would ground us or nothing. You know what I mean? They weren't strict. And there was no like religion or anything like that for like the reason that we like don't cuss or anything like that. It just kind of like stuck, I guess. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, no cussing in the house. Like, um, my parents cuss. You know what I mean? And I guess yeah, same my older brothers, I don't think they really cuss. I mean, we don't live in the same house anymore, but that's just kind of like stuck with us, you know what I mean? There's like no real reason. It's just kind of a habit now.
That's
Oh,
a
nice.
great habit to have, man.
Yeah. So
I want to see if I could even do that for like 1 week. Maybe I'll try that starting next
well, it's
Monday.
already it's already in the vocabulary, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Yeah, it's
that's why it'd
locked
be
in there,
hard
man.
now. Yeah.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
for sure. But and it's funny because like my wife, she'll like try to get me to cuss, you know what I mean? And like it's just like for whatever reason, I'm like I get put on the spot like that. I'm like, there's like for sure no, you know what I mean? Like for whatever reason,
So
I'm like, all right, I'm gonna
if
keep
you
it
get
going.
hella stressed or like in a situation where someone might cuss out of anger or frustration or whatever, uh, what do you say instead? Like when you're trying to like vent at the highest
Uh,
levels.
probably like freak, dude. You know what I mean? It's
Frig,
got to be
dude.
that one. You know what I mean?
That's
Yeah, I
good.
don't know, but I don't know. I guess maybe that like it slipped up one time, maybe because it's like you say it in your head or something. But for whatever reason, like I don't know. There's no like it just stuck with me.
Nice.
I got to get better with that, man.
Yeah. It just imagine focusing a board and not like swearing in the process or something. Like it just feels like
Yeah,
it all just happens as one thing.
yeah. I
Yeah.
don't know. I mean, I'm used to it, so it's like is what it is. But yeah,
Yeah.
I don't
It's
know.
commendable.
Dude, when I play sports, I'm firing off like fucking 400 swear words a minute out there.
Yeah,
It's awful.
let's go.
It's
And I
actually
find it
awful.
like I find it hilarious. You know what I mean? Like, but it's just for whatever reason. Yeah, it's just is what it is.
Oh, that's wicked. So it came up a few times while digging for stories, but apparently you're one of the cheapest homies in the game. Is there any truth to this? And what are some money saving tactics that people can use, man?
Uh, uh, I'm cheap to Carlos for sure because I know that. I know the two people. It's Carlos and JP, huh?
They out there
No,
spending all their cash?
actually, one or both of your brothers might have said that too. or Tanner. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Carlos, it started with him for sure back in the day because at the time this dude was a stoner. This dude would just like smoke mad weed and like we'd get per diem on trips and stuff like that. And then he would spend all his per diem on either weed or like snacks. You know what I mean? He was just always whatever. And I was just bumming off him, you know what I mean? Like he'd have the snacks and like I get the snacks from him, so then I keep my cheddar, you know what I mean?
Yo, you're too much, bro.
Yeah, he said that. He's like, yo, this fool's per diem always lasted longer than mine because he ate my snacks.
But that's the thing is like I don't smoke weed, you know what I mean? Or like I don't drink. So I mean I'm going buy a soda, you know what I mean? Buy like some snacks here and here, but like that dude's per diem's gone in one day because he would just go buy weed, right? He doesn't smoke anymore and he probably learned a few things from me just trying to save some bread, but
yeah, I got another story. This one was hilarious. JP said he was trying a switch hard flip backtail in Barcelona, and it was like a sick clip. He told me the spot. It's like that ledge that you pop into the bank, and he's like, "Yo, Trent said if I do it, he's gonna get me 5 beers." And Donald, remember those like they're like 50-cent beers or whatever? Those like the sweet ones, not the red ones, the other ones that were like lemony.
Yeah, yeah.
And he's like, if you do this, I got 5 beers for you. And then he's like, oh shit, all right, goes switch hard flip backtail, pop into the bank. He's like, yeah. And then he says Trent went to the store, came back with 2 beers. Say, yo, there's 50 cents, dog. You couldn't even pay up on that.
That is a true story. But
let's hear your version.
So whatever, he did it, right? And this fool JP is crazy, right? He has to bet, but when he bets, it's so one-sided. It's always like, yo, if I land this right here, like you got to get me this. And then I'm like, all right, cool. Like if you don't land it, then you owe me this, right? And he's like, come on, dog, no way. I'm like, it's a bet. That's how a bet works. You know what I mean? And then he's like, no, come on, right here, just one time, I forget why, whatever, but I bet him. I was like, all right, cool. If you land it right here, he was trying this trick for a while. I was like, if you land it right here, I'll buy you 5 beers. Of course, he lands it, there's beers involved. He's like, yes, I'm going to do it. Lands it. But when he popped into the bank, right, he landed his wheels on top of the bank. He didn't fully go in. He left that part out. That's why you never saw the clip.
Oh, shit.
I don't think the clip
with the deck check, man.
Yes, he landed on top, and I'm like, bro, like, what do you mean? Like, he's like, yeah, like, because we're always going back and forth, and he's like, oh, I want to take Trent's money, and I'm like, dude, that doesn't count. You're not going to use that in your video part, you know what I mean? And he's like, dude, doesn't matter, I did it, whatever. We're arguing, whatever. I'm like, fine, whatever. I think I went and bought him two or 3 beers, but I bought him I'm like, okay, fine, you did it. You're not going to use it, but you did it at the time, whatever. We didn't really get into the rules of it, right? But I paid him a little bit.
Got him a little something.
I paid him a little bit.
That.
Yeah.
That's only fair. But he's never paid me for a bet. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't pay. He adds more to the bet until he lands it, and then he calls it even.
Yeah.
Oh shit!
What a legend. That's a good one, man. Can you take us behind the scenes on your Ender and Encore, man? What was that session like?
That was a mission. Trying to think. Did I try it? I did it on that hubba, right? And a while back, whatever. And I always wanted to do it on a rail. I think I tried it on some other rails, whatever. And then I went to that like kind of corner pocket rail that everybody was skating for a minute. And I mean, the trick was like easy to try because it's just like you front shove and then you step on the rail with your front foot and jump off. You know what I mean? You can play with it. But I started trying that and like it was a bit tall and mellow for that trick, but it started kind of going. And I was like, oh, like kind of like would lock in grind a little bit, but I was going at such a heavy angle because I'd swerve in and go like this into the rail. And then I would lock in nose grind, but all my weight would be like on my toes, like leaning over, you know what I mean? And that's all I could do. I was just like, dude, I can't do this. Like, I'm just grinding it. I can't put it down, whatever. And I think I tried it 2 or 3 times before the day I actually did it. And tried it. And then there was like a deadline for the video. And I think it was, I don't remember what the deadline was, but it was close. And Carlos was trying to do the nollie backside heel flip nose grind down the rail at the same time. So it was the last day. He's like, yo, we need to get, not the last day, sorry, but like deadline's coming up. I'm going to go to Fresno and skate this little rail. And I was like, all right, cool. I'm going to go try this trick for the rail. And whatever, after like battling it, trying it, and noses or like my tail and board is getting super chipped up. And I'm like pretty much like kind of done. Carlos, like, he's with Eric, and Carlos like Eric calls Alex Kissinger, the filmer who I was with. So we're trying them at the same time, but
sick.
Different areas, you know. Sorry if I'm butchering the story, but he calls and he was like, "Yo, Carlos just did it." You know what I mean? Like, I'm like, "What? No way!" Like, he just nollie backside heel flip nose grinded a handrail, you know. And probably 20 minutes later, I don't even remember, to be honest. I just blacked out and I'm rolling away and I'm like, "What?" I did it, like rolling away, you know what I mean? But there was like so much pressure, like, all right, we got to get it. There's a deadline. Roll away. And then I like turn around and I see the filmer, Alex. He's like running towards me with the camera, like, "Oh my God, dude." Like, it was just like there was a lot of pressure, like, for this trick. And like, I think the situation, what happened, like Carlos landed it, whatever. He started crying. The filmer started shedding tears, like, of joy. He was so hyped, you know what I mean? I was like, he was like so hyped, and like I got super hyped. Kind of just like felt surreal, you know what I mean? I'm like, dude, like, stop crying. Like, if you keep crying, I'm gonna cry. You know what I mean?
Shit.
That was the story. I didn't cry, but I was hyped that the filmer was in it with me, and you know, he cried for me.
Love that. Getting it done in the clutch. Can you tell us about the time you ran into some trouble in Moreno Valley?
Oh my God, yeah. We went to these ledge over gaps. We were skating. This was probably filming for LRG video, and we went to these ledge over gaps at like this park in Moreno Valley. Chad Tintim skates them in A Time to Shine. He does like a line to like switchback tail big spin. They're like super buttery ledge over gaps. And for whatever reason, we go at the end of the day, and it looks like it's a super nice neighborhood, right? Young and dumb, and not like thinking like, oh, like we're in Moreno Valley, whatever, you know, could be sketchy. We're messing around with the spot. We're like, all right, cool, let's just light it up. You know, there's kids at the park and stuff like this, but it gets dark. Everybody kind of leaves. Light up the spot. Trying a trick. I forget what I was trying. There was a couple of us skating, and there's like a group of dudes, like, just, they were chilling there even in the daylight before we got there, but they're just kicking on the table. We have lights, generator. One homie has the HPX with the extreme, you know. And there was probably about 5 or 6 of us. And for whatever reason, we're like, all right, cool, like, we're over it, you know. It's dark out. Turn the lights off, pack everything up. And then some of the homies get off the table and they start walking over towards us, and they put like a bandana on, you know.
Oh, fuck.
And we're like, frick, like, all right, like, you know, and he's like, yo, like, he's like, yo, like, give me the camera, to the filmer. And it was our homie Corey. And he's like, what? Like, no. And then he pulls out a gun.
Oh,
and
fuck.
And it's dark out, right? And we're like, oh shoot, like, I think he pulled the gun out, and like, for whatever reason, he's like, give me the camera. He goes to get the camera, or actually they took 2 of our homies' phones, and they went to get the camera, and the filmer smacked him in the head with a board but he like threw it and smacked him. So I don't know really what happened, like what part of the board hit him, and we bailed. We literally just ran, and I think so. They ended up getting the camera. We had like the generator, pushing the generator down the street on the boards, like we all skirted off, and it kind of all happened so fast. Whatever, everybody was all good. Nothing happened. Camera got jacked.
Oh, damn.
And nobody got like beat up or anything like that. And camera got jacked, long story short. And then we found the dude on Facebook. He posted on Facebook, like, because there was like a local kid there just hanging out in the park watching us skate. And I think he knew him. So he told us his name or something like that. And so you like look him up on Facebook, whatever. He posts on Facebook that he's shooting a music video in the park, and he needs people to show up, whatever. Call the detective, because obviously he reported the camera being stolen, especially with like a gun and this and that. We were like tripping out. And fast forward, cops get the kid. He's 17, so he's a juvenile. He's 17, and turns out it was a fake gun.
No.
But,
shit.
But you can't, you know what I mean? It just
That's
was
too
like
risky at night. Yeah.
No, for sure. And the kid went to juvenile for a bit, or juvie for a bit, and he got paid for the camera. He was getting checks like every so often for the camera. I don't know if he ended up like breaking even for it or what, but that was the story. Yeah, and we're like, all right, cool. We're never going back here again.
Fucking
Damn. That's crazy.
But yeah, it was just one of those stories, like everything like kind of happened so fast, you know what I mean? But yeah, he definitely threw the board at the dude and just like bailed. I don't remember if he like took the camera, like took his backpack, or if he took the camera out of his hand or what, but they ended up with the camera and we all just like bolted,
Rolling the Jenny when you think you might get shot. Like, yo, I'm out, yo. Fuck the Jenny.
No, we need the Jenny.
But I think
Who
it
went
was
back and got that thing, bro. That's the real MVP.
Bro, I think it was but I think it was all LRG's like lights and Jenny, you know what I mean? So it's like we're like, dude, what are we gonna do? Just I don't know. We just like somehow got everything except for the camera and the phones.
Yeah.
But it was pretty hectic.
The worst part about running is the slowest ones getting caught, man. We almost got like attempted jumped one time, and one of our homies was on crutches, and everyone just was like, yo, peace to the homie on crutches. Yo, we out.
Yo, you just left him?
Yeah, and he became homies with the other squad, They're like, we ain't gonna beat you up. You on crutches, dude.
Okay. They didn't beat him. They felt bad for him?
Yeah, exactly.
They're like, dang, your homies just left you. We'll kick it with you.
Instead
of beat you up.
Yeah. Shit. How about your interesting table session with Matt Miller? What's the story there?
I didn't even skate the table. We were it was a DC session, right? Matt Miller was filming for his part, and Taylor was getting DCs at the time. And we would skate with Chris Ray a lot and stuff like that. So we would all like go on the sessions, me and the brothers, and maybe even a couple of the homies. And we've been on a couple Miller sessions before. And he's tried the trick like previously. I think he was trying to do the Nollie 270 switchback nose blunt on the table. And I didn't know, like, I wasn't thinking, whatever. Like, we pull out the table, and I didn't know, like, dude, I was so young at the time and just, like, oblivious, you know what I mean? Like, I didn't know that, like, oh, like, skater madness or, like, whatever, And for whatever reason, I'm, like, looking at the table. And for me, obviously, because I don't really skate tables, like, especially like that, I'm like, yo, this table, I was like, table's kind of long, no? Like, it's a little, like, whatever. I think I might have said something about like the legs sticking out, like, when there's a space and you kind of like, oh, you don't want your foot to get caught in between the table, right? Or between the bench. I think I said something like that. And like, we just brought the table out to the middle of the schoolyard, and like Miller heard me say that and like bugged him out. You know what I mean? He like couldn't try the trick after that. Couldn't try the trick. And I think he was like complaining to Taylor, like, dude, your freaking brother, like, he said this and that, like he messed up my whole session, like was pissed at me, And Taylor was like, yo, like,
how are you gonna like in his? I don't think he ever said anything, because he was like trying to get on DC, but he's like, yo, how are you gonna like complain to me about my brother and just be hating on him to me? You know what I mean? Like it was like a weird like situation, but like end of the day, I think he like used that as an excuse to not try the trick.
Mm.
And I apologized to him, and I like, actually I learned a lesson from that day that like, all right, cool, like keep your thoughts to yourself. If they're like kind of negative or something like that, like kind of like I learned after that, you know what I mean? But
Yeah.
whatever, just a kid, like not even thinking, whatever. And he ended up doing the trick a different day, I believe. He didn't try it that day. We left.
Yeah, I feel like I can picture him doing that in a
Mm-hmm.
part. So
Yeah. So,
it's
but
all
yeah,
good. Worked out.
it worked out, it's all good for sure. But I definitely like remember, and I felt bad, I'm like, dang it, dude, like, all right, like keep these things to myself. Don't
Yeah,
want to
like
don't want to throw off the vibe,
get to a rail with Nigel, you're like, yeah, like sacking on this would be so shitty, but like it's probably very likely. He's like,
Yeah,
what?
exactly, and he's thinking like he's not even thinking about sacking at all.
Yeah.
So that happened,
Take me back to a 5 rail.
Yeah, no sacking.
So what's the story behind your altercation with Joe Brook, man?
Dude, I think about that sometime, and I feel bad about that one to this day. Um, that was just a fricked up situation. It was just
As soon as that came up,
it's
now
crazy
they're
to
all
hear
coming out.
The like swear words diverted in real time, man. I like it.
it's natural.
Yeah, that's wicked.
It was just like one of those like wrong place, wrong time things, you know what I mean? We're on a trip in Cyprus. We have 2 vans, and I don't remember who started it, but somebody started like a war between the front van, or the van in front of us, and our van. It was a war. And we pull up. Oh, I think some dudes were gonna meet up with this dude to buy some weed, right? Because we had this tour guide showing us around. We're like, yo, meet at this spot right here. Like, we can pick up some weed, whatever. All right, cool. We show up to this park, big old grass field, and there's like orange trees everywhere. So there's oranges on the ground, and you see one person from the van in front of us get out with a grocery bag, and he starts running around scavenging, like picking up all these oranges, because they're gonna fire it to our van when they're driving, whatever. Just being idiots, right? And so it was like me, Miles, and Felipe. We get out and we start chasing. I forget who he's chasing. Oh, maybe it's Kyle Camarillo. Maybe it's chasing Kyle Camarillo. We're picking up oranges and we're chasing them. Like, so we did a big U-turn on this field, right? Dude, we're firing oranges at Kyle, like trying to hit him, like just chucking him, And he makes a big U-turn and he runs back towards the van. And Joe Brook has his little camera out because he's filming like a Fatback episodes that he used to do.
Mm-hmm.
Little point and shoot camera. He's filming it, and he's standing there like smiling, like laughing. It's all hilarious. And he's here. Kyle makes a big U-turn, runs back towards the van by Joe, and we're just like firing oranges, not even thinking. And I grabbed this one orange. I remember this. I grabbed this orange, and it was kind of like old and rotten. You know when it gets like that, and the peel is like hard.
Yeah.
And I just remember throwing it, and it just goes like this. Joe Brooks like has this thing like this. He's filming it. He goes like this. Hits him right in the mouth, dude. It was like, it was so bad, and it all happened so fast, and you could hear him like, he's like, oh, he starts like kind of grunting in pain, We're like, everybody kind of goes silent. We're like, oh shoot, like, and then we run off to our van, and I remember Felipe, dude, it was so
This
bad.
guy ran.
And Felipe was like, that was Trent, and we ran to the van, right? And I get in the back seat, and I'm by the door. Get in, and Tyrone's driving, and he starts coming over to the van, after like he's red, he's pissed, he's not bleeding or anything, he's furious, dude. And I roll up the window in the car, and I'm there, and he just like comes up to the window and he starts like screaming at me through the window, like, and like punching the dude. He punched the window 3 times as hard as he could, like, bah, bah, bah. And I'm inside like this, like, oh my God, dude, like this dude's gonna kill me. You know what I mean? Like, thank God I rolled up the window. You know what I mean? He probably would have just yanked me by the collar, like out the door.
Holy fuck.
Dude, I was so scared. I was so scared. I'm like, dude, what do I do? And everybody's like, I've never seen Joe like that before, because he's the nicest dude ever. And everybody's like, dude, that's Joe Hulk. Joe Hulk, you know, like, dude, he was pissed. Whatever. We get in the cars, or they get in their car, and we're driving off, going to another spot. I think those dudes got their weed. And I'm like in the car, like tripping, you know. I'm like, dude, like I just like broke this dude's teeth. Like, I don't know what's gonna happen. We go to the grocery store, and I'm like, this dude's gonna kill me. You know what I mean? We get out, vibes are totally gone, totally gone. And I see him, and he apologizes. You know, he cools off a bit, and he's like, dude, I fully thought you like broke my teeth, right? And I was like, dude, like, we apologized, we talked, and I was like, dude, I'm so sorry. It was like, I swear I didn't mean to try to throw it at you. You know, it's just wrong place, wrong time, one of those things. It's all fun until somebody gets hurt, right? Talked it out, whatever, it's all good. And that was the end of it, you know? And we go back to the Airbnb, and we're all watching the clip on his camera. Everybody's like dying laughing, you know? And I'm like, and you see him, it's like this. You see the camera, and then all of a sudden you see the camera just point to the ground, you know? And then you just hear him like grunting and like in pain, you know? I felt so bad.
Oh, fuck, dude. Hey, chill. Fuck. Dude, what the fuck, man?
And everybody's like laughing in the situation. I'm like laughing, but I'm like, dude, this is like still awkward, you know? I feel horrible. Whatever, all good. I got a photo ran in the article then, so he didn't fully like.
Yeah.
I think he like somebody asked him recently about it or whatever, and like we're cool, you know. We're all there's no hard feelings. I don't think, you know. But I do think that he might have went to the dentist and said that, like, I want to say maybe one of his teeth was loose after that. But I'm not sure. I'm not sure. It was, but dude, like, it was bad.
Shit.
You know, and of course it's like, it's me, you know. I'm like, why me?
Felipe out here snitching.
Yeah.
Real quick.
He didn't even
Dude,
flinch, bro.
Dude, we all scattered to the car, and he was like, that was Trent. I'm like, what? I mean, it was going to happen. Like, it was me anyways, you know, but
Yeah.
it was a bad situation.
And you're young too, like hitting a legendary photographer.
Yeah, I'm like, dude, it's just, and he's like been like so cool the whole trip, like super nice. And then you just like, I thought he was going to like break the glass and like snatch me out. You know what I mean? Like,
Crazy.
it was wild. My bad, Joe.
So, paintball with DeVille. What's the story there?
Who'd you get this one from?
Fuck, I don't remember. One of your brothers or Tanner?
Oh, okay. So the filmer that got his camera jacked, right?
Mm-hmm.
Our friend Corey, he's having a birthday party, and he's like, yo, like, we're going to go paintballing. I've never been paintballing before. I'm like, cool, we'll get a bunch of homies together. DeVille's there, whatever. DeVille, Joe Kralik, and some homies are there, and they're on our team. I've never been paintballing. I only used to just like airsoft, you know what I mean? And we're on this field, and it's kind of like a hill, and they're in front of us hiding behind like a haystack, right? And he doesn't have a beanie on. He's bald, right? And so he doesn't have a beanie on or anything. He just has the strap of the goggles on the back of his head. And it's me and my homie, and we're shooting up, but for whatever reason, I accidentally shot DeVille in the back of the head.
Yeah.
And I accidentally shot him in the back of the head, and there's just this yellow splatter on the back of his head. You know what I mean? And I was like, oh my God, like what? Like,
complete accident. And then I do this. I'm like this shooting a shot. I'm like, oh, and then I go turn to the side. and my homie next to me is like, I forget, he's on one of my sides, but he's still shooting forward. And I fully like got him in the back of the head and like turned around and like act like nothing ever happened, whatever. And I mean, he never said anything. I never told him. We never talked about it. We went, ate lunch after. We went, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know if he knew it was me or it was like he thought it was my homie or whatever. But we went to In-N-Out after. We all ate and like it never got brought up. And like, I think I never told anybody that story. You know, I told my brothers and my friends, obviously, but he probably watched this, or if he watches this, you know what I mean? I don't know if he does.
He knows.
He's like, this dude shot me in the back of the head. What the frick? Like,
I hope you get a text when this comes out. Like, yo, what the
great.
fuck? I mean, what
dude,
the frick?
It was just accident.
If I look behind me, if I just got shot in the head and that was my reaction to look behind me, I'm saying the person that's randomly pointed sideways is guilty.
I'm shooting him.
Hell. like, yo, everyone's facing that way, and you're just like facing no one. Like yo.
No. It worked because it was like, you know what I mean? There was like barrels and like this, and it was kind of like it wasn't only one way. You know, like there was to the right, but if I would have got shot in the back of the head, I would just turn around and start shooting whoever was there. You know what I mean? To be honest, everybody's getting one. But yeah,
I don't know what's worse, Felipe snitching on you or you fucking trying to get your homie to take it for you.
Hey,
Bill's a legend though. He didn't even react. That's crazy.
Bro, he just took it like a champ. You know what I mean? And kept on pushing on. You know.
That's
so
crazy.
I've been hit with a paintball. That shit hurts too, man.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the thing. I was like
straight to the skin too, bro.
Dude, like it was. Yeah, it was just straight skin. You know, there was nothing. I would have had a beanie on or something.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I was like, I remember that's probably why I was in the back, because I was all scared to get like shot. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Had no gloves or nothing. I wasn't prepared for this, and then, boop, got him. You know what I mean?
Bro, you got
Friendly
you got
fire.
filmers in tears. You got filmers fucking shooting them in the head, breaking their teeth. Filmers and photographers,
ruthless, bro.
I don't know, man. You be doing something with these people.
I mean, dude, maybe that's the reason why I don't got a shoe sponsor.
Shit.
No, I'm just playing. I'm playing.
Don't kill me. So what's next for Trent McClung, man?
I'm just working on this video part, you know what I mean, with my bros and having fun with that. That's the next big thing going on. Just trying to check that off in the next couple months, hopefully.
Hell yeah, love it.
Well, because that was the thing is like I kept getting sidetracked with like there's a primitive project that I had to work on in the middle of like trying to film for this, you know, like had to give some clips up to this other video, this or that, you know what I mean? And my brothers are like, they're getting mad at me. They're like, yo, finish up your part. Let's go. Like, we're almost done, you know? And I'm like, they're stressing me, you know? So I'm like, hey, I'm got other stuff to do. But, so I'm going to focus on that now.
Let's go. Hype to see it, man.
Hey.
I can feel the heat from here.
Yo, it's Rapid Fire with the Ghost, and this week we're honored to be brought to you by Venture Trucks. Venture's Summer One line is dropping any day now, and you can get your XP up with a Pro V Hollow in 5.6 from Nikolai Piombo, featuring an orange base plate and green bushings. Keep your eyes peeled on the Venture YouTube for something new from Nikolai soon. Miami type shit. They're also releasing a polished V8 in 5.2 H1, 5.6, 5.8, and for the first time, 6.1. The V8s feature an 8-hole pattern allowing you to shorten your wheelbase by 1/4 inch per truck, 1/2 inch total. Make the choice yours and end wheelbase madness today. Venture Trucks, baby. The only trucks that matter. All right, Trent, you know what time it is. A little rapid fire, you dig? Nothing crazy
for this.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. That's my favorite right here.
Favorite skater?
Paul Rodriguez.
Favorite video.
S. Medic Madi.
Favorite. Oh,
Dang it.
favorite video part.
John Dixon, America Green.
Ew.
Yeah.
I didn't see that coming.
Me and Trent were watching that, or I was telling him I was watching Dixon parts, and then he started watching them, and we were just like texting about that. So that's sick.
Yeah.
Shout out
That
John Dixon.
that was the first one that came to mind right there. That part's good, man.
I don't know if
Not-
that's your favorite part ever, bro. I'm not sure.
Bro, let's not take that away. We want to get John Dixon on the pod, so maybe he'll see this.
Okay.
That works. That works
but-
for me.
Actually got a note. Trent actually got a note from him. A polite decline. I didn't tell you, Dono. He actually said thanks, but no thanks.
Yeah, you
So you
reached
think
out.
this will help?
Well, I got Jeremy too. John Dixon said an interview with me would be a boring episode. Tell them thanks though. Like,
Oh, that's not a no. That's
as Mitch loves to say, I beg to differ. Or no, I would like to beg to differ.
Nah, that'd be so good.
I would like to beg to differ. That's sick.
John Dixon, pull up. But back to Trent. I love that answer. John Dixon, America Green. Favorite style?
Thiago Lemos.
Which skater had the biggest influence on the way you skate?
I would say PJ Ladd.
Most talented skateboarder on planet Earth?
Either Dylan Jabe or Ishad. Can I say two?
Yeah. Favorite trick?
Kickflip.
Hardest trick for you?
Front heels, man. That's the one that I can't do for my life.
Most illegal trick?
Nollie front Smith.
Yes.
True.
That's a good one. I was watching Osiris feed the knee the other day. Forgot my boy Galea used to be a Nollie Smither, but otherwise
Really?
the best
What
trick
fucking
selection. in the
videos
game.
are you watching these days, man?
Feed the knee, so random.
Jesus Christ.
Bro, that video is fucking so good.
That was
Crazy,
Nollie front Smith was like a trick, like more like was done more back in the day, huh?
Oh, for sure. It was not
Matt
considered
Mumford.
illegal at the time, yeah.
Who else? Probably
Matt
Scott
Mumford
Kane.
rocked it.
Scott
Yeah.
Kane probably did one. He did Nollie front Smith and Nollie back Smith, right?
Yep. And for some reason Jay Strickland played the Nollie backsmith first and then Nollie front smith right after.
Wow, you remember the order too.
Bro,
This guy.
Why do you think? How do you think I win random skater all the time, man? I gotta keep watching Feed the Need over and over until I remember every trick.
I haven't heard that name
Just
or that
kidding.
video in so long.
Just kidding.
It's
It's a fun
insane.
rewatch. Caswell Berry, that might be his best part ever. It's so fucking
Keep it.
good.
Keep the fucking rapid fire
Favorite
moving.
clip you've ever gotten?
Probably kick the back nose mock bout ledge.
Crazy.
Oh damn, we should have gone behind the
Crazy.
scenes on that. Worst trend you've been a part of?
Loud grip tape, like big logo grip.
Yeah.
Horrible.
So not the one-footed back threes. Bringing those back.
I didn't think they were that bad, but apparently they are.
One man's opinion, bro.
Yeah,
I would
no.
love to beg to differ.
Yeah.
I don't know. You might see one in the next video part just for you.
Okay.
I like that.
Just put it in the intro like a non-serious clip, and I'll be like, hell yeah. But if it's your ender,
Slow mo on my part.
3 angles. Gnarliest trick you've ever witnessed?
Carlos Ribeiro switchback 3 over a mini table
Crazy.
for sure.
So good. What's the one trick that got away?
Switch 360 Sacramento triple set.
Damn. Is that one gone now?
It's still skatable. They would put the blind bumps in front of it. You know what I mean? The yellow bumps. And there was a minute we were going up to Sacramento. I think I went 5 times or 5 weekends in a row. Just drove up back and forth 5 times in a row for that trick. First couple, and we popped the bumps off too, like crowbar and everything. You have to pop the bumps off, chisel out the stuff. It's kind of a mission. You go back, whatever. But I ended up trying it 4 different times. And I tried it 2 different each time. Like I went twice on one side, swerving this way, and then I tried the other side twice, and I was sticking a bunch, but I just get like I couldn't rotate it purely because it's the carving is like this, because it's like a traffic circle right there at the top, and that's the one that I couldn't roll away.
Oh, I would love to see you land that now, hearing this backstory.
It's been a long time since I've done a Switch 360, but I would be willing to try it again.
If you need an ender, man, that would be perfect.
I'm down for that. And we tried to in the whole plan, because it was trying to do it for I think fourth quarter, and we're having Landy shoot the sequence too, try to just you know what I mean? Like remember when Gallant back big spins it and then pans to Landy, something like that. We were trying, but I couldn't roll away.
That'd be sick.
Maybe
add
one day.
Another one to the list of shooting your homies in the back of the head, disrespecting the blind. Just put add that.
Hey, no. No, we would hammer it with the little nails. We'd hammer them back in when we leave.
Oh, there you go. What's the biggest bunt you've ever witnessed?
This is considered a bunt, but I would say JP Souza.
Yes.
He was trying, right? He didn't I don't think he gave it his full potential, but he was trying to big spin front nose that it was kind of a hot spot for a while. It was like a big orange curve ledge going down a bank in LA.
Yeah. Like a driveway.
Yes. And so he was trying to big spin front nose it from the beginning. It's long, but it's buttery, and he big spin front noses everything. But he was trying it, and he was scared. He was too scared to hold it. You know what I mean? He'd get certain distance, and then just jump off. And we're like, dude, you can do it. All you have to do is just lean. He's like, I can't. Freaking out, tripping out. And if you know JP, you know how he is, But dude, he started switching up his setup. He's I think at one point he was skating an 825 Alien Workshop board with big wheels and a different trucks and stuff like this he's like, oh dog, this is it. This helps me hold the big spin front nose, bugging out. And it ends up getting knobbed, right? Whole thing gets capped. Dude, there's 15 knobs across the whole thing. He calls me. He's and this was a time where he was trying to get a last trick for his part, whatever. And so that's all he's thinking about. He's tweaking on this spot, He calls me. He's like, yo, let's go on knob it. I was like, what do they look like? Whatever. And they're these pretty budget L knobs. But I haven't been there since. I never went when it was knobbed, So I don't know what it looks like. He sent me a blurry photo at night, so I couldn't tell. And I'm like, all right, cool. We're going to go. I'll go with you. You're driving. Because it's all the way out in West Hollywood or something. And that's dude, it's far for us. And I'm like, all right, we're going to go to Home Depot. I'm going to make you get a Sawzall. So he buys a Sawzall and he's tripping on that. He's like, oh, dog, it's $250. No way. I don't even know this trick's worth it, Because of and I was like, yo, it's all good. If you don't ruin the Sawzall, you can return it. You get your money back. You just take the L on the blade where it's $3, $4 for the blade. So after Home Depot for 45 minutes trying to convince this dude to buy the Sawzall, he buys everything. You get a little he has a little handsaw. We go with some tools so we're prepared. We show up. Eric Iwakura is there. He's helping us. And it's these puny knobs. They're so budget. So budget. And literally you could take them off with the skate tool and then the screws were there. And I'm like, dude, what? You need a wrench and a hammer. But we did 15 of them, right? We took all these knobs off, hammer the screws on top so they go in, whatever. Never ended up using the Sawzall or anything like that, Unknob it. It's all good to go. He goes, returns the Sawzall. It's all good. Gets his money back, so he's not tripping on that. He goes back, tries it, whatever, and I think one that he kind of commits that he stuck and fell, and he like fell. I don't know. After that I stopped showing up to the spot. I'm like, dude, I'm good. Like we've been too many times. You're on your own, you know? Like it's tough love with us, but he doesn't do it and he gives up after one knob day. He's like, I'm done, dude. I can't do it. Like dude, you didn't even like you can big spin front nose this, you know what I mean? Like you can do it. So he kind of tried after all that. And then apparently I think this is a true story. I think Kevin White called him and asked him about the big spin front nose if it's still open. Like, yo, like are you gonna big spin front nose this? Like, because I think people started hearing about it, you know? Like, yo, are you gonna big spin front nose this? Like, because if not, I'm gonna do it. Or I don't know how true that is. I don't know if JP was just like messing around or what, but he never did it, so it's still open. And I would consider like
he could do that.
He could do that, but I don't think he gave it his all. So I would consider that as the biggest bunt because of the mission and everything.
That's huge. Fucking, he's probably punching the air right now again. In this interview.
He's probably so mad that I told that. Hey, it's all good though. He called me out on his, so you know it's only fair.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I don't even remember what he said, but I love it. Got to get your get back.
My chance.
What's the last new trick you learned?
Believe it or not, front 180 fakie manny.
Oh, whoa. That's crazy.
Yeah. I did it at Primitive Park. So I had like a buttery, like Masonite. So I was able to like pivot it into the fakie manny. I would count as learning that. I haven't done it in the streets yet, but for whatever reason, I can't, that one's hard for me.
Nice,
I can't get like the little, you know, when people do it, they like power slide into it a little bit.
Yeah.
I can't do it.
Better late than never. Dream job after skating?
I guess open up a coffee shop.
Let's go.
That's fire. I like that.
Favorite local brand?
Museum.
Sick. A favorite local skater?
Chris and Pierce Brunner, the twins.
Dope.
That count as one?
What's the one sponsor you regret riding for?
Silver Trucks.
Oh shit.
Yo, I loved my silver trucks, man. These things are fun.
Bro, I mean, I wanted to skate for Silver back then because it was a heavy squad, right? Little did I know that those dudes were getting guapped up to skate for them. But I thought it was sick. And then, bro, the bushings were like plastic. They were like rock hard, dude. It was so. No, it was cool. It was cool. Whatever. I didn't get any silver tools out of it,
dude.
I probably should have took it. I probably should have took advantage of that. But
that was the only good thing they had going.
No, the little cap that went on the axle nut, bro. Was fire, dude.
What was that? Like was that the rims type thing?
Yeah, but it like prevented the axle from stripping or whatever. You don't remember that little piece that screwed on the end?
I don't even remember, dude. This was a minute ago.
Bro, those trucks reminded me of like what a cyber truck is today. Just like, yo, you're doing too much. This shit just looks whack. Like, what do you?
But
yeah, it was definitely
skate technology, man.
Favorite teammate ever?
Carlos Ribeiro.
Nice.
Let's go. Worst teammate ever?
Carlos Ribeiro.
Dude, both shit. The man that puked on your fucking pants and pissed in your room.
He's the best. He's hungry. He's down to skate. Good vibes. Buys all the snacks for the homies, you know. And then he's the worst. He's a bully at the same time. He had like brand new grip tape. He'd take his board, big old line across it, like just scratch up your grip tape, or like brand new white shoes. He's the one that like you go after like on the asphalt or whatever. He takes his shoe and stomps out your white shoes, you know, or like, bro, he's a bully.
Why?
He's a bully because he finds it funny, and it like gets you so like frustrated. You're like, dude, for what? Or like you're on your phone. And then this dude will just smack the phone out of your hand. I mean, it's all love, you know. It's funny. And then, but yeah, man, it's frustrating.
Maybe he's just trying to get you to swear, man.
Maybe.
No luck yet.
Yeah, that's funny.
Trying to get me to slip up again.
I didn't know he was a bully, but now seeing like thinking about his intro with Paul when they're going back and forth, but Paul could handle it. He actually
he's a bully, bro. I love him, but he's a bully.
Worst company.
Creature.
Whoa, shit, cuz.
All right, we'll take it.
Hey,
Damn.
the board I skated a Creature board back in the day the board was good. All green graphic, a little hectic, but all good.
Worst trend.
I would say just when you land a trick. I mean, I understand it when you land like a banger and you just like push off into the sunset. You know what I mean? Where they're just like just pushing as fast as they can. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I
feel
know,
you
like,
on that one because when Jeff Rowley was doing it, it was like special.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then
like
I didn't think of anything of it, and then now you see all these people do it.
Yeah, like you're just coming back anyways. You're gonna have to turn around.
I don't know. Maybe I haven't done anything to let's say Daredevil or whatever. You know what I mean? I'm that kind of nose grind a 25-star handrail. Maybe if I did that, I would just push the fastest I can away.
Bro, kickback nose blunt Machpa is like on
that's good enough.
the highest level. But I guess there was a bunch of people. There was nowhere for you to really.
I went to the end of the street and there was a crowd. Yeah.
Worst style.
This is the worst one, dude. That's my dog. I love him. He's a great dude. Billy Marks.
Oh! Oh, no. That's crazy.
Oh, Billy.
Hey, the Nollie Barrel Heel backboard that's not cutting it. You know what I mean? I love Billy.
Oh my God.
I'm sorry, bro.
The season's lining up so nicely with the fucking hate from like one episode to the other.
Going after each other.
Oh shit.
Don't get your hopes up. Don't get your hopes up with these.
It's gonna be a banger.
No.
Be a banger.
All right, Trent, no pressure. Last but not least, last person you want on the sesh.
Probably Taylor and Trevor when we're arguing.
Oh. Are you gonna run that one? Yeah.
What, dude?
The softest answer in the history.
You gotta text his brothers and apologize.
No. That's
I said something.
No, I don't know what to say for that one. That one sucks, bro.
No, that one's hard shit for sure. All right, Trent, man, thank you so much for coming on the show. Absolutely killed it, bro. Bunt gang now for life, man.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate that. Hopefully it wasn't too boring.
Yo, no, you killed it. Fucking
come on.
Yo, Trent like hit me up for a hoodie the other day. We already gave him a hat in the summer and he never been on the pod. Yo, now it's all good.
Pay, eh?
Now the floodgates are open. It's all love now.
So now I get the gear?
Yeah.
Shit. Welcome back to the post office, brought to you by our good friends over at Dickey's Skateboarding. Quality workwear since 1922. From the work site to the streets. Ain't nobody keep you fitted like Dickey's, man. All right, Ghost. Who we got up first?
All right, let's spark it with an email from Big J. What's goody, bunters? While skating with my dog this morning, I almost ate it going over one of those rumble strips they put across sidewalks. Or they put at crosswalks. What's the fucking point of those things? Anyway, I want to hear some embarrassing shit eating in the street stories. Just straight beefing it in front of pedestrians type shit.
Dude, those are for blind people, man.
Come
Those
on,
things are here to stay.
I was gonna skip this email, but then I was like, we can't let this guy continue to be uneducated on the point.
You should
of
know
the
what
strips.
that is. Yeah, you should know what that is.
Come on, homie.
Eating shit. Eating shit in front of people. I remember at one of the first bum rushes, which was like basically like Go Skate Day in Toronto before Go Skate Day existed, I think. Local legend Duncan McNaughton would organize this, and all the skaters would meet up and we just take over spots unlawfully. And we were at Unitel, and everybody ran from Unitel to CBC, and I'm running as fast as I can, go to jump the little chain and clip my foot on the chain in front of like 1,000 people.
Oh,
and just
no.
splat,
Not the chain.
man, like as hard as possible. You're like in your glory of just running, and then bear trap me, man. So
Not the chain, bro.
not skating, but like surrounded by skaters at a skate event. So it's
That's-
close enough.
The chain's an awkward bail, too. Like, you don't know when your weight's going to
Dude, it
get
just
caught.
whips you, man. That was awful.
That's brutes. Okay, I'm not lying because I'm sure there's a million times I've done this, but I can't think of one off the top of my head. But I just happened to be catching up with Phil the other day. And he was telling me about a time, probably grade 7 or 8, where after school we went to Shred and he got a brand new board. So he had his board like in his knapsack, and we're skating from Shred to Bay and Wellesley. And you know, there's like a private school there. I think there's like a girls' private school. They're in their like, you know, in their uniforms, and we're skating by a group of them. And Phil's just, you know, cruising down Wellesley, hits a rock, flies on the bike lane, board flies out of his backpack, his shit's everywhere. And he said I was just dying laughing, and I'm so bummed I can't remember it. But
That would be a great memory to have.
just him telling me that story had me cracking up. So shouts to Phil for that memory.
Dude, I actually have a funny one. One of my best friends and like best friend of the show, 6-year-old, when I first met him, we were playing hockey together as young kids. But like he was always like the cool kid on the hockey team. He had like cool clothes and whatever. You could just tell he was pretty cool. And I knew he skated. And I had never skated before, but I'm like, damn, like if I'm going to be friends with the cool kid, like I got to start skating. So I invited him to go skating one time. And he was pretty good, I guess, and I had just started. And he was like, I can ollie a 3-stair. And I was like, oh, I got a 3-stair by the crib. Like, let's go check this ollie. Turns out it was a 4, and this is the whole reason. So he goes to ollie the 4-stair, which I told him was 3. Credit cards at the bottom of the 3-stair. And it's like in front of a bus stop. So people are looking at him, and he's like squirming on the ground trying to hide. But to this day, he blames me because he says, I told him it was 3. It was actually a 4.
Wow, how have I never heard that story?
That's classic.
Sixer with the wood up his ass. I love
Yeah,
it.
that was tough. Tough first
Pause.
session to our friendship, but it's come a long way. All right, next up, we've got an email from Aaron Thatch. Other than sports team apparel, what's your favorite non-skate clothing companies? Also, quit playing and bring a Bunt Jam to LA. Yo, y'all got enough shit in LA, man. We need to we trying to move on from LA. You know what I'm saying? I love it there now, but
That would be sick though. At some point,
Nah, that ain't in my sights. Maybe the Ghost is who you got to go to for that.
No,
man. I'm trying to take this shit to the Rust Belt.
I'm not saying it is or isn't, but if it happened to just happen at some point, we'd be hyped. But there's other places that we'd like to spread the jam at. Pause. That sounds weird. Turning into fucking Mace these days.
All right, non-skate clothing company. You go first, man.
Damn. I thought you were gonna have one, and I was just gonna say.
Well, bro, I got a sick one. I don't know. Like, is 2 Under a skate company? I know they hook up skaters, but it's like an elite clothing underwear company.
True. Shout out,
which is
Joey B.
Always one of the greats. Shit, like all our shit is just focused on skate shit. Like, I think me and Safe would love some Arc'teryx up here.
Oh yeah,
battling the winter.
Other than Dickies, you know what I'm saying? Arc'teryx for days.
But that's a completely different realm. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
That's like battling the winter. So yeah, I'd say 2 Under, elite underwear, and then Arc'teryx.
I got a new one. This isn't. I wouldn't consider this a skate brand, even though our homie's a skater. Roderick just dropped a T for whatchamacallit, his new brand he's doing. So shouts to Rod.
And Sean Hale with the ultimate
Avos.
slides. Yeah, those will get your feet right. Avos.
Hell yeah. All right, next up, we got an email from Tyler Chevy. Longtime listener, first-time writer. First off, the random skater of the week now has my lady hooked, and I wait all day Monday so we can watch together. We love this segment. I had Rick Howard in the bag, too. Any possibilities of a bunt jam in the PNW, Vancouver, Seattle, Portland, maybe? And favorite video part, song that paired well with the skater. Thanks for your time. Keep up the great work. Shout out Josh Matthews, cafe called Lovely and the Quit Squad. Yo, Josh Matthews.
No, we should get Josh Matthews on.
Yeah. I mean, you're going to laugh at me because I feel like I'm always saying this, but I was just watching
How?
not City Skateboards, the Think video the other day that Yanku ended slipping, but their last video, a fucking classic, and Josh Matthews is a beast.
So, possibilities on a bunt jam in the Pacific Northwest. Possibilities are endless. Right now, we don't have one planned or in the planning, so, it's out there, man. It's anywhere as possible.
I would love to, at some point in our lives, do like a San Francisco to Vancouver road trip or something.
And end
Like
with
that,
a bunt
that'd
jam
be a
somewhere?
crazy. No, not necessarily that, but a bunt jam over there would be sick. But I've never been to Seattle. I've only heard good things. I went to Portland for a day.
Oh, that was Portland.
Or no, sorry, I went to Seattle for a day. I've never been to Portland. I had that backwards. Seattle was awesome. I've only heard good things about Portland. Yeah, who knows?
Possible. Favorite video part song that paired well with the skater. Bro, what was Yeah Right, Rick McCrank.
Yeah.
It's like a song I would never give 2 seconds of time to, but will forever be ingrained in our minds. Rick McCrank, Yeah Right.
For sure. I'll go with Ain't No Sunshine, Appleyard, Digital Invasion, or his Sorry part too.
Yeah, that was, dude.
Every May. Yeah. Can't go wrong.
All right. Next up, we've got an email from Gary Mabin. Hey, Bunt Crew. Hope all is well. I'm a 37-year-old still skating in rural Scotland. There is no scene here in the slightest. A few dudes started back up during COVID, and you'd see them out at the local parks, but now it's just scooter kids for days. Being 37, I get shit of folk often. Not mates, those guys are all ex-skaters, but workmates, etc., for being too old and should hang up the board. Despite this, snowboarders, mountain bikers, and other extreme sports guys don't get the same treatment, which is total shite. My question is, do you guys, at similar ages to me, get a similar experience? My thought was maybe being from somewhere with a scene, it might be more accepted to be a skater, e.g. Cali skating is more part of the cultural DNA. It's definitely not in southern Scotland. Cheers. P.S. Shout out to HSC and all my homies in the Squid crew.
Well, luckily we don't have to deal with that because we have a great scene here. I don't think. I mean, I haven't been. The only reason I get roasted for skating still is because I get hurt so much, but not just the fact that I'm skating. What about you? Anyone
never.
come for you at work or anything?
Nah, it's sick. They're jealous, bro. These fucking old farts can't do nothing,
Yeah.
They're like, first, it's hard to believe, so, I might have to flex a clip or two to prove them wrong. And, me, I pull a clip out from 3-4 years ago when the legs were a little fresher than they are now. But, nah, I never get it. But it is, like, at Story's school, they do, like, Story's my son's story. They, in the beginning of the year, we had a big assembly for the parents or whatever you call it. And they're like, if there are any parents out there with cool skills or anything they want to show off to the kids. And one of like Story's friends' parents was like, "Oh, you got to go up there and skate for the kids." I was like, "There's nothing I would rather do less than potentially skate in front of all the kids in the auditorium." But no, I never get shit on.
Bro, that would have been gold if you went for the kickflip primo.
Dude.
First tee slam.
Oh, man. That's awesome. But no, not getting shit on. It is probably just an extension of where you are. There's no other skaters. You're probably the only skater. That sucks. But, bro, there's a whole world of skaters, so don't worry about the small-minded people hating on you.
Straight up, man.
They probably just fucking doing nothing with their free time anyways.
Keep doing your thing at the
And the
pub,
way to look at
you know
it now is, bro, you're just exercising. So at 37 years old, you got this hobby, provides exercise. That's good for you, man.
They're at the pub. You're burning calories at the skate park and then going to the pub.
Yeah, meet them at the pub later.
Yeah.
Pub ain't going nowhere.
Exactly. All right, next up, we got an email from post office veteran Nate Feldhaus. Anyone else annoyed with all these children writing into the post office who have never even listened to the pod, sending long ass emails, requesting guests that have already been on, saying shit like, "You guys should film a bunt video. What's your setup?" Save that for the YouTube comments. Show the post office some respect. Do your research before you write some crap. Shout out Ants1.
Damn, Nate. I do respect it, man. But Nate, over here, we also respect the new listeners. Been doing this for a long time. So if they haven't listened to all of them, we'll accept it. But we respect our OGs in Nate as well.
Yeah. Thanks for sticking up for us.
Nate.
Yeah, real shit. But yeah, echo what Donald said. We love the new listeners. Can't blame him for not knowing about the entire Rolodex of shit we've done. But we got nothing but love for you, G.
Dude, what's this fancy new sweater you're wearing? I ain't never seen you wear that.
This is the too lazy to go upstairs, so grab a light
sick.
jacket.
Have a jacket
thing.
on?
It's not too lazy. I had to go upstairs and then I had to come back down, and I'm in the boot. I'm like, fuck, I'm not going back up for a sweater.
What was the last thing you changed on your setup?
My board?
Yeah.
Like this specific setup, or like in general, like switching up like a size.
Our
setups
are pretty locked in. Yeah. When was the last time you made a change?
Well, definitely fucking with the 93s, but now I'm back to regular, unless it's a rough spot, because it was fucking me up on, like, you can't skate dumb bat with 93s. And then switching to 8125, I think.
Yeah.
81 whatever. I was 825 for like a handful of years, and then I just went down because I couldn't switch tray for a minute. It pissed me off.
Nice.
You?
Switching to mob, dude. Fucking Jesus.
Better
Living under
late,
a rock.
Better late
when
than
you're
never.
too stubborn to admit something could be better. Boy, was I wrong.
Better late than never.
All right, next up we've got an email from Colin T. Yo, Bunt, I recently got into the pod and love it. Been going back listening to all of the interviews, and now I'm going back listening to post offices I skipped over. Just wanted to write and see who your favorite female skaters are, and recently... Oh, sorry. Just wanted to write and see who your favorite female skaters are recently, and say I'd love to hear more female skaters on the pod. I have 2 daughters, and one of them is really into skateboarding. She's 6 and learned to drop in yesterday. Raddest fucking thing ever. She loves to watch Chloe Covell and Georgia Martin, but I'm always trying to show her other video parts of girls skateboarding to get her stoked. I'm always looking for more, but want to know what your favorite parts are. This season ripped so far. Keep it up.
Epic email. Big shout
Unreal.
out to your daughter on dropping in. I remember being so proud when I taught Clark how to drop in. She gave up on skating shortly after, but it was still a pretty epic day. My favorite of all time, Alexis Sablon. And then some, like, probably the parts I've watched the most over the years, Alexis Sablon and PJ Ladd's Wonderful Horrible Life, and Alyssa Steamer in Welcome to Hell. Probably top
and
2
Bootleg.
most. Yeah, and Bootleg too. But
Like we ran that bootleg video.
Yeah, that's
to
true.
death.
But the Welcome to Hell, the song, and the part, and the slam, and that's a classic part right there.
Yeah. One video part that I've been watching lately is Ariana Spencer and Khan's Evergreen. Absolutely banging. Love that one. On repeat. That whole video is sick too, man, but she killed it.
Yeah, that was wicked. Probably, yeah, speaking more recently, I got to say Momiji, one of my favorites. The Stilo is on P. And I can't wait for whenever Haisa Leal puts out like a full street part. That's going to be face melter.
She just won Street League again?
Oh, damn it. No spoilers, dog. Damn it. I should have said that before we started.
Fuck.
Yo, the Rumble app making you pay and shit. You got to wait. Fuck. I was about to say it too. Before we recorded, I forgot. Don't tell me who won the men's, for fuck's sakes.
Oh, you're going to be hyped on this one.
Yo, no clues. All right. Yes. Malto told me it was the best one he's ever seen.
Yeah.
And I was like, all right, sick. I'm not going on Instagram. I don't want to see. And then you just had to fucking do me dirty.
Oh, you came on the pod not knowing, man. You're supposed to be telling me this shit.
I know, but you can't watch it anymore. Like,
yeah,
anyways.
What's the deal with that? You got to pay?
Yeah. God damn it. We got distracted though. Epic email. Thank you, Colin. Hope your daughter keeps loving skating. And
I also want to echo Chloe Covell, man. The like increase in skill in the last year and a bit has been absolutely insane. Like, what a pleasure to watch.
She's 15, man. The future is very bright.
Crazy. And having that little street clip come out for April was fucking epic, man. Epic. Yeah. She's killing it, man.
All right. So, got another email that kind of is a funny one to back that up. And then you can finish it with our boy, with the last one. Okay, so we got an email from NBDs at Spots. What's up, fellas? My name is Lee, and I've been listening for a while. My son Xander and I love to listen on our way to the spots to skate. It's funny because my question got asked a while back, or his question got read, I guess, and my son thought it was funny that you roasted me for not putting my name in. I emailed you because we were talking about ABDs and we were wondering if that concept includes women skaters. If Aisa Leal had a part and it ended with Costin's 360 flip nose blunt in Yeah Right, would we be upset or would it be acceptable? Hypothetical MBD or ABD. Thanks and keep it up. Much love from the Deep South. Okay, Lee, signing it with his name. Yeah.
I would be upset. It's a small rail. You can find another small rail.
Yeah, I 100% agree. Now, that said, Haisa did backsmith and backlip Hollywood 16, but felt a little different. Like, there wasn't like a last trick in her official April part or anything. Mm-hmm. And she's, I don't know what age she was when she did those, but she's like 17 now, if I remember correctly, off the Street League thing. Yeah, I think it's an ABD regardless, especially at her level, her specifically. Like, she's good enough to do NBDs anywhere. So hopefully Shane would like.
That's just such a specific trick. Costin's 3 flip.
Yeah,
right. Like, if someone picked that, yeah, okay. Like, obviously. Like, you could go to another spot and 50 a big rail and someone might forget it and 50 the same rail. Like, that can go, but like a very specific trick at a specific spot, like a huge moment in skate history, as that 3 flip nose point was, unacceptable.
Yeah, with like the historical significance of that one. Mm-hmm. Nah, but everyone's doing ABDs these days, so I think the same rules apply. Basically, is what we're getting at, right?
Yeah.
Same rules apply to men, women, anyone on the board. Try to avoid them, but it's hard these days.
Yeah. Shout out Lee. Shout out Xander. Keep getting those father-son sessions in, man.
Hell yeah.
All right. Last email of the week coming in from the OG, the Margarita God. the fastest trigger on Random Skater of the Week, or one of them, the big homie Theodore Ted Barrow. Let's take a listen.
Hey, it's Ted. How's it going? Are we friends? I'm sure I asked some out-of-pocket shit on these voice note things, but man, catch strays left and right with your guys' reactions, so hope we cool. I have a serious question. Do you guys have cool memories of skating Toronto Dominion? 1, please share any stories that you have. And 2, have you measured the ledges? And could you measure the ledges? And could you translate your measurements into inches, not centimeters, for me? Please. Thank you. I'm serious. Don't shit on me on the answer, please. Thank you. I admire you guys a lot. Bye.
Ted, man. First off, we'll get this one out of the way. We can obviously measure anything you want, and measuring tapes come in centimeters and inches up here, so you'll be good. Just send us pictures of, or whatever ones, because there's so many different benches there, but that is very easy. As far as the "are we friends" question, Ted is like, when you take that test with your girlfriend, like, what are your love languages? Like giving gifts or like positive reinforcement. Like Ted is he needs to be told that we're friends every time we chat, Ted, just because we're not talking, don't think that the friendship's going anywhere, dog. We love you. We here for you. Your brothers from the north. That will never change, man.
I was actually just trying to think when I heard that the first time, like, what is he talking about? I don't know what strays he's talking about. Like, I couldn't think of a single thing.
I don't know. I say all sorts of shit I forget. So.
Same, but the only thing the only thing was that he killed the quiz so quick that maybe we chirp him for that, but that's like friendly banter.
But yes, we love Ted from day one. That's been the homie, man. Shout out to Ted.
But to the first bit though, about you saying it's easy to measure, I'm like, he probably needs this for something specific soon. I know I ain't getting my ass down there to measure shit. So are you?
I'll bike down there for Ted if I have to.
Okay.
If he needs it.
Because I don't want to leave him hanging. Because I was going to say, if anyone listening in Toronto, wants to just go do it right quick as soon as they hear this. But if you got it, you got it. That's respect.
Yeah. TD?
TD memory?
Yeah, TD memory. First of all, TD has so many spots. Lots of spots. You got the handicap rails. You got the 8. You got the little step-up Manny. You've got the Leap of Faith, the Morgan Switch Ollie. You've got the OG ledges. There's all sorts of shit, man.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. I mean, one thing that's come up on the pod before that comes to mind because I'm in a boot right now, but back
this
in the
is
day,
gonna be my story, bro.
Back in the day, Dono hit TD. It was actually one of the best manual pads ever. It was like only like maybe that much of a gap, and like that much higher from ledge to ledge, gap to mani pad, perfect, like smooth. The skinny blocks that you all seen in videos, but like one to the next one, and it was shorter than the super long one, so it was like the perfect manual pad, gap to mani. Yeah, and Dono hit a fakey big spin mani, back 180.
Yeah.
G code. And then I was in a boot. My left ankle was in a boot first time in my life, and I was just like itching to skate, still coming on the sessions. Like we're in high school, like nothing to do but skate. So the only trick I could do was a fakey big spin with the boot on. And then we went to the mani pad, and I hit a fakey big spin mani on it. I didn't back 180 out, but I still disrespectful.
May as well have. That was gonna be mine. So now I'm thinking on my feet real quick. stories. I'm trying to think if there was ever like an incident we got into there. There probably was, but like I just remember like a lot of cool tricks. Like Jacob Williams nollie front heel in TD8 was savage.
Seeny fakey heel. Were you there that day? We're all in.
No.
It was nighttime, and he had the little camera VX light on him. Like, could barely see by the time he landed it. Fakey tray on flat, then fakey heel to 8.
Didn't Cody do something to the street out front of Commerce? That was fucked.
I can't remember if I was there for that one.
Street.
Oh, what about TD double? I feel like I missed all those sessions when the homies did shit
double.
there. Yeah,
I missed that shit too.
Shout out Yanku Nollie heel. That might still be the best trick because it's one of those long ass doubles where it's like
that's fucking crazy.
Like off the nose doesn't make sense.
Dude, the flip tricks that Bobby did over the blocks are fucked. Those blocks are huge, man.
Cab flip, yeah.
Paul Liliani switched nose manning that big ass one.
And fakey flip. Went back to the fakey flip.
No sense, man. Yeah, just a fucking epic spot. The ground is not the greatest, which makes it tough to skate. People don't get to see. So yeah, when you do a line like with a back 180 fakey 50 front 180 on one of the blocks, it's a little harder than it looks at home, you know.
Yeah, break out your Spitfire 93s for that.
Yeah, you'll need them, man. Epic spot. So I hope Ted does a little piece on TD. That's what he's working on, this old ledge. But I think that guy's designed buildings all over the place. So yeah, it's cool.
Yo, Ted, pull up, man. We'd love to have you go hang out at TD, man. Fucking tricks
Talk
and spots for days. I love the history of it's the dopest. Like thinking back to like when the Zero team went there, or when the iPath team went there across the
Peter
street.
Raymondetta, quite possibly the best trick ever done in Toronto. It would be on the list, on the short list. Nose
Top
manning
5.
nollie flip. TDA.
That's probably my number one, but it's top 5 no matter how you slice it.
It's insane.
I saw John Delo nose manning. He did the nose manning 180, and like to think that Raymondetta did nollie flip out a billion years ago. Different.
Bro. Switch heel. You're switch heel.
Oh, oh yeah.
It's the greatest story there is. But we'll save that for another day. So we need to roll that clip. But save a switch heel to double rolled onto the street. Gangsta. Bro, is that it? We're done here. That's a wrap for the post office this week. Get your emails, voice notes, and videos if you dare into buntlive@gmail.com. All right, let's get it popping. Welcome to the Rundown, the skateboard world source for sports. Round 1 has officially come to an end in the NHL and NBA. Perfect timing, actually, for this episode. We're going to start in the NHL. Ghost, it wasn't a sweep, and then it got a little nerve-wracking for a second. But you know who got the job done. The first place in the Atlantic Division, Toronto Maple Leafs. You know I had scrubs like Seb's Lyman hitting me up after they won the second game, feeling nice and proud. And then when they lost in 6, he immediately started cheering for Florida, which is an actual disgrace. Sens fans, have some respect for yourselves. They were chanting "Go Panthers, go" in the stadium after they had just been eliminated. Half-ass franchise doing half-ass things as usual, man.
Okay, wait, I got a question, though. Who did Florida play in the finals last year?
Last year, the Edmonton Oilers.
I'm pretty sure I remember you cheering for the Panthers, so it's kind of the exact same thing. I'm not
Bro,
in the hockey world,
in
but
the arena.
I just
after
see it as
they
Canada.
had been eliminated.
No, I know, but you're hating for Ottawa, going to root for some like American team because they hate the Leafs.
I'm not telling them to cheer for the Leafs, and the Leafs were long gone by the Cup Finals.
I just remember I couldn't believe you were cheering for Florida over a Canadian team last year in the finals.
Because the only team to
comes
rightfully bring that cup back to Canada is the white and blue, my dog. But it was a stressful round 1. I'll give you that. We were Austin Matthews post in overtime away from winning the series in 4 games, but they got it done in 6. The Leafs are moving on. calm, cool, and collected Toronto. That's
To build up some grit, man.
That's how we do. We both got that one right. 1-for-1. Moving over to the Battle of Florida. I thought this was going to be a longer series. I thought that Tampa Bay will put up more of a fight, but those defending Stanley Cup champion Florida Panthers laid an absolute ass whooping on them.
I had Tampa Bay.
You had Tampa Bay, which wasn't a bad pick, but it is what it is. Moving on, Washington and Montreal. Montreal looked like they had a chance there after they won that first game, but that slowly evaporated, and the veteran presence of the Montreal Canadiens took over, of the Washington Capitals. But Montreal, good young team, nothing to hang their hats on. Snuck in at the very end, won a game over the first place Washington Capitals. That's good. You'll take it.
Mm-hmm. Wait. Sorry to interrupt. We didn't get to it, but maybe this, if I could find it, maybe this could be a funny time to quickly read it. But did you see in the post office, we got an email from Montreal legend Fonty, who was coming at you. But unfortunately, we just didn't get to it.
Bring it up. Fine. Take the minute to bring it up. Let's get to the bottom of this.
Oh, shit. He was like, I used to like you, Dono, or something crazy. Like, it was so much harsher than probably he intended it to do with the, we'll give him the benefit of the doubt on the
translation
language barrier. Fuck, where is it? Sorry, keep going and I'll find it.
Okay. Next up was Carolina, New Jersey. I knew all along that Jersey just didn't have the guns to keep up with Carolina. Going down Luke Hughes is just too big a hole to climb out of. Or Jack Hughes, sorry. And then more injuries as the series went on. But they managed to get one win, which is good for them. Another loss for you, Seifa.
Damn it.
Moving to the West, Winnipeg, St. Louis. I found myself slowly starting to cheer for the St. Louis Blues more and more as this went on, because you kind of like feel for the underdogs, and when it's not your team, you're like, okay, I'll pull for the underdogs a little bit more. But Winnipeg down 2 in game 7 in the third, mount the comeback, score the tying goal with 1 second left.
Wow.
And then go on in overtime to seal the deal. In hockey, when it gets
Is it
past
double
like
OT too?
Double OT, but when it gets past like the first 10 minutes of the first overtime in hockey, it's going to be an ugly one. And this was one of the ugliest deflections off of a deflection. And Winnipeg get the job done.
Let's go.
You find the email?
Did you? Yeah, I did. Did you find who did you pick in that series?
Winnipeg.
Oh, I don't even get a point on you.
No, no points there.
Canada, stand
let's
up.
take a quick intermission for this post office.
Okay. Oliviero Fontana coming for my man. All right.
In English, Oliver Fontana.
Yo, Donovan, I heard you calling the Habs a shitty team. I used to like you. Not so sure anymore, my guy. I remember last Stanley Cup final, you were cheering for Florida over Edmonton, which was debatable. Which of the Canadian teams you would hate the most to break the curse of a Canadian team to win the cup? Needless to say, that for me is the soft-ass Leafs.
What's the difference?
I am glad because it will never happen. Bleu, blanc, rouge forever. The Habs are on the come up. Be scared.
Who? Be scared of what? Because they have some young rookies that snuck them into the weak Eastern Conference's last playoff spot. Congratulations. I mean, you guys did almost everything you could to not make the playoffs, but someone had to do it. So you guys got in there. Ranking in order of people teams I would least like to win the Stanley Cup in Canada, I would prefer any American team win over every Canadian team other than the Leafs.
Wow.
We'll just start with that.
Wow.
Worst, Ottawa. Second, Montreal. Third being Vancouver. Fourth being Edmonton. Then Winnipeg, and then Calgary. I got a little love for Calgary for some reason. Because Joe McGinley. I respected him, man.
Okay.
But the rest, the rest, man.
That's a
and
cold
the Habs
world.
got a long way to go, so good luck with that.
Hey, Fonte, I'm with you, man. Habs, baby. Let's put some respect on a true Canadian legend. Back blunt, 180 nose grind. God,
This
you
has
get me?
nothing to do with skateboarding.
I
okay?
know, but
This
still,
is
I wanna
hockey,
shout out the
Shout him
homie.
out. Shout him out. Give him some love before his heart gets broken just like ours does year after year cheering for our hockey teams. Moving right along. Dallas, Colorado. This was the Clippers Nuggets version of the NHL. Two teams that should have long playoff runs, but unfortunately have to meet early on. The home team won every game in this one, I think it was. Same thing went down. Colorado up 2 in the third period of Game 7. Dallas comes back to tie it, win it in overtime. To make matters worse, early in the season, Colorado trades Mikko Rantanen, one of their big 3 in Colorado, because they were assuming they wouldn't be able to sign him. They send Rantanen to Carolina. Carolina tries to get a deal done with Rantanen. Rantanen tells them, I'm never playing and signing in Carolina. This will be the only time you have me. So Carolina, they got no choice but to trade him. Trade him to Colorado's arch rival, the Dallas Stars. He ends up scoring a hat trick and the game winner in Game 7 overtime against his former team. Mikko Rantanen, a true villain now in Colorado. Another point for me. Dog. Another loss for Safa. The Vegas Golden Knights and the Los Angeles Kings.
No.
Oh, no. It was Vegas and Minnesota. Vegas and Minnesota.
Davis.
You know, Minnesota looked like they had a chance there for a second. But I'm going to tell you a stat, and I hope I got this right. Because, you know, people are hard on the Maple Leafs for not making it out of the first round. But it's tough, especially when you're in a stacked division, just like Minnesota is. They've made the playoffs in 8 out of the last 10 years. And how many times have they gotten out of the first round?
Once.
0. You got to do better. I don't know if it's management or coaching or just talent alone, but Minnesota, you got to do better. I know you're running into teams like Edmonton and Vegas and Los Angeles, but you got to do better.
Just a cursed sports
Look yourself
city,
in the mirror.
No wonder
Minnesota.
Davis is so glass half empty. Probably the whole damn fucking city.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They're just used to the beatdowns and the heartbreak.
Yeah. Yeah. And with the Vikings too? Shit.
Yeah.
Not to mention the Twins.
The T-Wolves, like, bro.
Yeah.
That's
bad. Yeah. Last series, the Kings and the Oilers. I chose the Oilers because I knew they had the superstars to get this done, but I was cheering for the Kings. Kings had a chance to go up 3-0 in Game 3. Absolute coaching blunder of the playoffs so far, challenging that tying goal, giving Edmonton the power play. They go on to lose and then end up losing the series. McDavid and Draisaitl, obviously too much. Bouchard, Kane. Edmonton gets the job done. Another one of Safa's teams out.
Fuck's sakes.
So in the NHL, you went 2 for 8.
Oh, and three. I picked the Leafs.
Oh, Leafs, Winnipeg, and Vegas. 3 for 8. Not bad. Sterling, 8 for 8 for yours truly.
Holy shit. Yeah, you
That's
should.
how we fucking do it.
If you put $10 on that, damn, bro. I would have popped
got
off.
me something nice.
I don't know, but I'm sure getting 8 series right, those odds must have been crazy.
Yeah. All right. So the rounds are set for round 2, or the matchup, sorry. Let's get right after it. It starts tonight, Monday night, you know, in Toronto. We get a rematch with the Florida Panthers. Didn't have much success against them in the regular season, but it's a new season now. Mitch Marner just had his first son today. I don't know what the hell that means, but hopefully some good juju for the dressing room. Leafs and Panthers. You know what I'm fucking doing.
Oh, that's a tough one, but am I going to be the kook who picks against the Leafs?
You know, I had to bring out the Tim Hortons for the NHL up here in Canada.
So wait, who's got home ice?
We do.
Wow.
The first place Atlantic Division champions.
Okay, can we do this one last? Because let's do this one last because I don't want to.
First, it's the most important. It's the
I know,
first.
but yo, I need to be able to decide because I want to pick the Leafs because I don't want to root against the Leafs. But if I need to, like, if we're gonna defer on an opinion, it would be that one. for me to like potentially beat you. We have to have some different picks. So let's just come back to that one.
Next up, Washington and Carolina.
Washington all day, every day.
You're going Ovi?
Yeah.
Check this. I think it's Carolina.
Oh,
I think it's Carolina.
I
I don't know why, but they've been knocking on the door for a long time. And Montreal gave Washington some headaches, which I think that Carolina will just make it even worse. They never stop skating. They're always tough on the forecheck. Great coach. Their goalie is a little iffy, but I'm going Carolina. Moving to the West, it's Winnipeg and Dallas.
Winnipeg. Dallas must be stopped, man. Who do they think they are?
So get this. Colorado, one of the great teams in the playoffs, and Nathan McKinnon said it. They were missing Heiskanen, their best defenseman, and Robertson, potentially their best forward, and they still beat Colorado. There's no way if those guys come back, they lose to Winnipeg. Winnipeg looked absolutely pathetic, not finishing off St. Louis. Dallas is destined for the Cup Finals, at least the Western Conference Finals. I'm going Dallas. You're going Winnipeg.
Fuck.
And now,
I didn't know any of that injury shit, man.
they should have let me talk first. The Las Vegas Golden Knights and the Edmonton Oilers, which will be an absolute battle of depth versus superstars.
You know where
Edmonton
I'm going,
doesn't
man.
have the depth to deal with Vegas, but they have the superstars to pull them over the hump. Goaltending. They rolled their backup goaltender to beat the Los Angeles Kings, man.
Is their first guy healthy now?
He was healthy the whole time. They pulled him and benched him
Oh,
because he
shit.
was awful in the first 3 games.
You know where I'm going. Expansion, baby. Vegas. The Dark
Going
Knight.
Vegas. The Dark Knights. This one's tough for me, man. I want to go against you, but for some reason I feel like Vegas. But you know, Minnesota, they did something there, and Edmonton's getting hot at the right time. So I'll go with the Oilers. Don't do me wrong. All right. It's only one place
now
left
it's
to go,
easier
man.
for me to pick. Because
Yeah,
now
because we didn't agree on anything.
I'm riding with T-Dot, man. Let's do it. Because if it was the other way around, I just needed to know that I could still beat you if we have the same pick. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So
Picks are locked in.
let's go. I can't go against T-Dot, man. Not this early.
It's our year.
Let's do
You know
it.
what I'm saying?
But yo, question: if Toronto wins, they face the winner of which series?
Washington, Carolina, which is a great
Ooh.
matchup for us. It's better than the other side.
Toronto against Washington would be fucking epic.
That would be awesome. They beat us the first year that Matthews was in the league. He dragged us to the playoffs, and Ovi shut us down. I went to
Okay.
Washington and watched one of those games. Great game.
Okay, I'm excited, man. Is that the only game tonight? Leafs?
Only game, yeah. 8
Is that-
p.m.
so that-
start.
That jersey staying on the rest of the day?
Whole day. I wore a different jersey. This one's from the Winter Classic a few years back, and I mistakenly put on my Mitch Marner jersey, and that was when we went on our 2-game losing streak. So I had to get this one back on the chest. You know what I'm saying? All right. Moving over to the NBA. Not as exciting, but it's getting better. I'm watching some basketball now. I'm enjoying it.
Bro, if the
Knicks?
players care, you could feel it at home.
Yeah.
That's why I'm so over the regular season. But this time of year, I'm locked in.
Knicks and Pistons. Detroit showed up.
The Pistons should have won. Inexperience, that letting game one slip up the whole game, 21-0 run, unacceptable. They were in every game, and Detroit, I know you're bummed and it stings, but you got a great young squad, and I think they're only going to get better. So don't feel too down. Like it was crazy. They put up a graphic of both starting lineups, and I couldn't believe it because you watch every game. Detroit has a better complete team because New York has 0 bench. But all 5 starters on the Knicks are better than all 5 starters. It's crazy that Detroit was giving them that much trouble too. So
Is it possible that Brunson can potentially go down as an all-time great Knick?
he's already in there. But
It's
yes,
insane
for sure.
what he's done there. Leaving
For sure.
Dallas and coming to New York.
Bro,
Superstar.
I feel
Absolute
so bad for
superstar.
Dallas fans these days. Because
Yeah.
have you seen that one floating around where it's like it's Luka when he's maybe a rookie because he's still skinny, and you almost forget athletic Luka what that looked like. he was skinny and dunking on people in his first year.
He's too rich now.
But yeah, there's just a clip of Brunson and Luka like in their jerseys, like talking like before like on a dead ball, and you're just like looking at what they're both capable of, and they're both not on the Mavs. It's sad. But yeah, Brunson on his way to greatness. His foul baiting is kind of annoying. He's like Trae Young's not in the playoffs this year. That's the most annoying thing about watching Trae Young, and now it's just like Brunson's the most annoying for that, still playing. But yeah,
Milwaukee, Indy. I went with Milwaukee hoping that Dame would come back and get right, but Halliburton, he's a star. You can't deny it. Siakam, you know, that spin move never fails.
it failed. Like, remember that year in the bubble when they should have gone to the conference finals?
Yeah, we had
everyone
everyone
in 7
but Kawhi, right?
Yeah, that was annoying. But the spin move, man, that was like pulling out my short little hairs. This guy could not. I was like, anyone but Siakam, take this shot, please. Yeah, very sad. Dame, we're both Dame fans, so obviously huge bummer. That series seemed like it was about to get exciting going into game 4. Heal up soon. Obviously the big question, Giannis this offseason. I think he's got to get out of there.
Send him to Detroit.
Going nowhere fast. Yeah, I don't know. That's where you would want to see him go?
Why not? Perfect spot for him.
For some reason, I don't know how they would stay good without depleting their whole team, but I just feel like Giannis to Miami is something that I would love to see.
Yeah. Moving on. Who'd the Cavaliers play again? Orlando. That was a joke.
No, it wasn't.
Yeah, they played. Oh no, the Celtics played Orlando.
Yeah, no, they
played the Heat.
The Heat. Yeah. That was like I think
you could have found a better
series.
pickup ball team down in Miami somewhere.
Bro, they won the series by 120 points, some 20 something. Like they won by 30 points per game. It was a disgrace.
Yeah, nobody watched those games unless you were from Cleveland or Miami. And if you were from Miami, I feel bad.
There's nothing to talk about there, but rewinding back for a second, what do you think about Tyrese Halliburton's pops and that whole stuff?
Did we not go over this a tiny bit? Maybe it was just a phone call me and you had.
Yeah, I don't think.
But that was insane. That was insane. You know, and in that moment, what would have happened if Giannis just punched him in the nose? Like,
yeah, he'd get in trouble.
If he thought he was just a fan that was like, you know, coming up with some somewhat threatening action, Giannis just lost the series. I'm furious if I lose a game of pickleball against you. Like, he just got sent home from his actual job. Like,
in the most shocking fashion. We've never. Did you see the stat? Teams were like 1,609-0.
Yeah.
When up 7 points with 30 whatever seconds left. I've never seen a collapse like that. That was insane.
Yeah.
And then
truly
you're standing there stunned.
Thing, but you know, I hope that it was just a blip, and those things do happen. Sometimes you make these reactions when you're cheering and you yell things like you at pickleball. It just happens when you get super excited.
Under my skin,
so
man.
Hopefully,
yeah, but at least we're playing pickleball. That is a fucking dad.
Well, that's his son. Yeah, but I've seen like dads are crazy. You know, playing sports my whole life. You see some of those dads they're nut jobs, man.
100%. But you won. Like, show some grace. Like, I don't know. That was just
no. I'm not defending him in any way, shape, or form. I'm just saying. Yeah. I'm glad that it ended the way it did and it didn't go any further. He just made the mistake. Luckily, he ran into a humble guy like Giannis. And imagine he did that to Isaiah Stewart.
Well, Giannis is literally like a Greek god body.
Yeah.
Like, Halliburton's dad's like this tiny dude. Like, how's that who you pick out? He's a star and he can kill you with like his pinky. How's
his ego was through the roof
that you go
at the moment.
Yo, that's some psychotic behavior.
All right. Moving on. Celtics and Magic.
Nothing to talk about there.
Nothing to talk about
and
there.
It's like, at least with the Pistons, it's like, yo, y'all got a bright future. The Magic, they got to make way more tweaks than the Pistons to be relevant.
Yep. OKC and Memphis.
Nothing to talk about there except for Ja embarrassing himself again. Did you hear his quote after?
Is it possible that Ja is not like the one superstar? He has to be like a 1B?
Oh, definitely.
Maybe even a 2?
100%. No, I don't think they could win a championship with him as the best player.
What was the quote?
So remember they lost by 51 points and then 19 points, and then they were up 29 and lost when he got hurt just before half. So he says, yeah, like, I got to be careful with what I say because everything I say goes viral. But he like thinks about it for a sec. He's like, I figured them out. He's like, it was gonna be 2-2 if I didn't get hurt. I'm like, yo, you're such a kook, man.
Yeah, that's the delusion I love in sports, man.
How could someone so lovable become like? I've never seen a turnaround that quick. Remember when he used to do his post games with his daughter, and it was like, yo, this guy is about to be the face of the league, and now
he blew it.
Throwing grenades into the crowd, literally.
Yo, that shit was awesome. Next up, Lakers and T-Wolves. The most shocking of all. Nobody saw this coming. You picked the Lakers as well as I. It was just the size and the heart that won this one.
I picked the Lakers because I'm conditioned as someone who's been watching the NBA for all these years to be.
First Take is what conditioned you to choose the Lakers this time.
No. It's just like even before I watched First Take as much as I do now, it was like LeBron is so hard to eliminate. I just couldn't picture it happening in round one. Like something in my brain, it's like I have PTSD from all the times he's like won these series. It just driven me crazy. I haven't like accepted that like, oh, he's not that dude anymore. And so it was so wicked. And just the fact that Luka's there too. And even Luka said it once. He's like, man, we just beat the two best closers in basketball. And that's why I thought they were going to lose, because every time it's one or two 3-possession game in the last 4 minutes, I'm like, oh, that's in the Lakers' favor. Like I've seen Luka fucking outduel so many people in close games, and it drives me crazy. And now you got two of them against Ant, who's like not necessarily the clutchest guy, but he elevated to another level. And yeah, they should have won that games 5 by way more. They won 7 for 47 from 3. Beautiful to watch, man. I'm so excited for the next round.
Clippers, Nuggets. It delivered.
It delivered until the end. And I was going to watch the fourth quarter. I fucked up and ended up going to see Sinners. Great movie. You should see it if you haven't. At the same time as the damn game. And then the movie ends. I go to check the score, but I had the last text I had was from Mason. And he's like, I think he said, like, don't even talk to me or something. I'm like, oh, it's that bad? Because in case y'all didn't know, Mason's actually a Clippers fan, not a Lakers fan. And I knew there was no point. Like, I did eventually check the box score, but I'm like, oh, like,
it was a whooping.
Harden showed up. Game 7, Harden showed up. Or elimination, Harden showed up. AK no show. But it looked like the whole team flopped.
Mm-hmm. But did you hear Russ's post-game presser?
No, what do you say?
Bro, he's awesome. He's like, I might make a 3, might miss a 3, might turn it over, might get a steal. You just never know what you're gonna get, man.
He said that
Russell
himself
Westbrook
about
experience.
himself?
Yeah,
that's amazing. Oh, last thing though, I don't know how I've been like ever since Kawhi went to the Clippers. I think I've picked them to like go to the finals or conference finals or have some sort of meaningful run every year. I'm done. Like,
he looked unreal though
in game 2.
Kawhi was great. He looked like there was moments where he looked like when he went on that run with the Raptors. That was truly one of the most spectacular playoff runs I've ever seen from a single player. Kawhi was absolutely lights out. I remember he started one game against Milwaukee. I think it was game 6, and he was limping for the first half.
Yeah.
And then at one point in the fourth, he had a left-handed dunk over Giannis. Like, I didn't know what. He's superhuman, man.
Yeah, he is.
But Kawhi is one of the true talents that we'll never know how great he could have been, and it's still an absolutely great career with what he's accomplished. But he could have been. Should have stayed in T-Dot, man. We would have won that bubble.
100%. We win the bubble.
That would have been easy.
Yeah, you can't tell me otherwise.
And here we go. Another Game 7 series. The Golden State Warriors and the Houston Rockets by the skin of their teeth, man.
No, they handled business last night, but I honestly was ready. I had no idea what to expect. That ended up being probably the funnest first-round series for me, other than watching LeBron and Luka lose in 5. But again, like I said with the Pistons, the Houston Rockets, not like talent-wise or not like as far as like how the team plays or anything, but I got the same feeling. I don't know if you'd remember this. It's a while back, but in 2010, when the Lakers won it that year, they had probably the most talented team in the league, and they went up against a young OKC team. So we're talking young KD, Harden, and Russ and Ibaka in round one. And the way the Thunder pushed them, any like big time basketball fan back then, the way the Thunder pushed the Lakers, who eventually won the championship that year, I can't remember if it was maybe like a 6-game series, you just knew like, yo, the Thunder, like they're young and getting their reps, their first playoff reps in right now. Like this team is not to be fucked with.
Pause for a sec. Oh, what happened there?
Some notification just popped up. I just X'd it. But yeah, so the way I felt about the Thunder in 2010 really reminded me of this Houston team, where the only difference is the Thunder, they had KD and shit. They had all the pieces. They just need to get older. And then, of course, we saw what the Thunder do from 2011 till KD left. They were a contender every single year, right?
Yeah, they were on the verge.
Not saying Houston's necessarily going to be a contender for the next 6 years straight, but there's something about what they just put the Warriors through that's like, yo, this team's not going anywhere. The only thing they need to do is replace Jalen Green with a solid 20 points per game scorer.
Are kind of thin as well. But 2 questions. OKC, that team, that nucleus. Is that the word?
Nucleus.
Nucleus. Do they win a championship if they stay together?
Which one?
KD doesn't leave. The KD OKC Thunder. With Ibaka, with Harden, with all of them.
No. So the question is, do they win if Harden doesn't leave? I think 100% they win one.
Harden left first.
Because remember, Harden left right after they went to the finals, dog. 2012, they go to the finals, lose, but it was a closer series than people think. It was 5 games, but they pushed the Heat. Then they fucking trade Harden that next year. So the time
with the big 4, do they win?
Yes.
Okay. Next up, who does Houston get to make them take over the next step?
The funny thing is, the talk is everyone's saying KD to Houston for Green and like picks and whatever. If they can keep Tari Eason, Amen Thompson, Van Vliet, they have a team option $44 million. I don't know if they re-sign him. He was great for them in this series, but I think if they get, because Green is your 20, he's supposed to be that guy, the 20 point per game scorer. He did it in the regular season. Series. In this series, he scored single digits in every game except for game 2, right? I think 38 points. So you get KD in there instead of Jalen Green, I think you're going to the conference finals.
Good to know. After the first round of the NBA, you were 6 for 8. The 2 teams in Los Angeles fucking you over. I was 5 for 8. I missed on LA, and I also had too much faith in Milwaukee. So round 1 total, NBA and NHL, you went 9 for 6.
Oh, you just
barely a passing grade.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And I was 13 for 16. Out to a 4-point lead.
That's not even fair. We got to keep them separate, man.
They are separate, but as in total.
We don't need that total number.
I'm the NHL, and you're the NBA. So I'm out on a limb on the NBA, and you're out on a limb. Bro, you're on a bigger limb in the NHL. But we're 8 years into this podcast, 9 years. You gotta put a little more into the NHL, man. It's your own fault.
Okay, that's true. I should at least look at their fucking regular season records when I make my picks.
That's what I'm saying. All right. So moving on to round 2. NBA or NHL? Where you want to go? We already did NHL. NBA, Knicks and Celtics.
Celtics. They're gonna mop the floor with them if they still stay healthy. That's 5 games.
I'm going Knicks. My delusion. The Garden's gonna be rocking. I can't wait for this. This is a huge moment for this New York Knicks franchise. That's like new age of players. The fans, they need it. Beating Boston would be like winning the championship.
Okay, thanks for the layup in round 2. No, that's a point for me.
I think they got this, man. And I hate the Celtics. The Cavs and Indy, they're already down 1. The Cavs at home, they're down 1.
I want to shout out the Pacers because last year, I don't know if you remember, they had what I like to call a fraudulent run to the Eastern Conference Finals that no one saw coming.
It worked out for them.
let's rewind it back real quick. They play in round 1 they play the Bucks with no Giannis. Okay, they would have lost that if the Bucks were healthy last year. Round 2 they play the Knicks with a hobbled Brunson the whole series, no Julius Randle, and I can't remember if OG or Josh Hart, like they were dropping like flies, and it was just, I think it went to 7 actually, 6 or 7, and in the last game you just already knew, like it was like they have nothing left. So they got to the conference finals. They weren't really there. This year I feel like they've gotten better defensively. All their role players are more confident, blah blah blah. Like they feel like a real team this year. So this is the hardest one to pick, I think, right now. Who you picking?
I'm going Cavs. The first round was just too light for them. They haven't played a real basketball game in weeks. And it sucks to go down 0-1. But they're conditioned. They're the first place team. They got the skill. And I hate Halliburton for some reason.
Really?
Who jumps on the scorer's table after round 1? That's a Pat Bev move, dog.
Bro. Yeah, that was
like, that was
play-in.
insane. I know it was a crazy play, crazy end to the game. But as the coach of the Toronto Maple Leafs, you know, act like you've been there before, man. Like,
I mean, I hear that, but
I just didn't like it. I just didn't like it. I don't need you to like it.
No, yeah, it's fine. The way that ended with the game-winning layup, I like it. Jump on that thing, because my favorite, most memorable time of someone jumping up on there was Dwayne Wade in a regular season game when he hit a running 3-pointer to beat the Bulls at the buzzer, and then he ran up and he's like, "This is my fucking house." So
who you got?
God damn, this is tough. I wish if last night's game hadn't already happened, I would say Cavs for sure. But if Darius Garland's out, yo, you know what? Let's go Pacers, man. Donovan Mitchell's allergic to the conference finals, man.
Well, if we gonna find out. Next up, we have Denver and OKC. This is a big one. This is a true test for these Thunder, man.
Last year, people were saying they needed more depth at the big man position. They were too small.
They got it.
They went and got Hartenstein. Chet, still skinny as hell, but another year under his belt.
Still got his beard.
And they got backup Jalen Williams, who had 2 triple-doubles this year. I'm going OKC all day.
The Nuggets just went 7 games in a hard-fought series, and OKC chilling at home. I'm going OKC. The pride of Hamilton, SGA.
Let's go. Lou Dort, Montreal, baby.
Yeah, nobody's worried about Montreal. The legend killer, Ant-Man, ready to knock another one off his list for Chef Curry. I'm going Ant-Man. I just want to cheer for him, man.
This is the toughest one for me because
the size is going to be a problem. But
yeah.
Jimmy's toughness, I think Minnesota as a city would love to beat Jimmy.
For sure. The problem I see with this for the Warriors is they just fucking went 7 with Houston, who's not on par offensively, but they're some of the best defense I've seen in a while. Minnesota's defense is close to that level, but offensively they've got it figured out. But I'm going with the Warriors, baby. I can't turn my back on Steph and them boys. Let's do it.
All right, there you have it. Round 1 is in the books. Round 2, here we go. Let's get it cracking. Nothing better than the playoffs headed into fucking skate season. It's still cold here in Canada, but the sun's coming, man.
I feel like I'm so glad you said the Knicks, because I feel like I picked with my heart a couple times there, so I could go 1 for 3 this round.
It's the Knicks, baby. Let's do it, New York. I'm cheering for you guys just as much as I'm cheering for the Leafs. Maybe not as much, but I really want to see the Knicks beat the Celtics, man. That would be
would
awesome.
Love that.
The Garden would go crazy beating big bad Boston. Let's fucking do it. Yo, any thoughts real quick? I know we're way over time on the rundown, but Bill Belichick and his girlfriend's interview. You see that shit?
Did we not talk about that?
No. You see the picture of her in the mermaid costume and he's the fisherman? Bro. And they asked him about it and he's like, wait a minute, like people actually saw that? And they're like, yeah, she posted it, and he was like dumbfounded that picture was on the internet. He's being bamboozled, man.
Bro, I saw Charles Barkley was on the Dan Patrick show, and he was like, "What do you?" He asked him the same question, and Charles is like, I'm concerned. He's been my friend since he was a coach for the Browns. He's like, I'm actually gonna reach out and just make sure everything's okay. Like,
You should.
I don't know.
You should.
Bill Simmons, same thing. There's a lot of concern from Belichick's like circle of friends. It seems like.
I don't doubt it, man. All right, y'all. That's gonna wrap up the rundown in this week's episode of the pod. Leafs Nation, stand up. Y'all know what to do. Let's go, baby.